Oh, howdy, Miss Jane.
Good morning, Mr. Clapper. Jethro?
Howdy, Miss Jane.
You're just in time for a doctor's examination.
Doctor's examination?
Twice a year, Granny gives everybody a good going over to see that there's nothing wrong with them.
I'm next, but you can take my turn if you like.
Well, thank you, Jethro, but I just came by to have some paper signed.
Oh, hi, Miss Jane.
Greetings, Ellie.
Nick. Oh, just take a seat, Miss Jane. I'll get to you as quick as I can. Come on, Jethro, get a move on.
Are you sure you wouldn't like to take my turn? What about you, Uncle Jess?
Don't keep the doctor waiting, boy.
This apple a day stuff is just talk.
Well, how did your examination go, Ellie?
Oh, just awful, Miss Jane.
Really?
Oh, Granny couldn't find nothing wrong with me. She got all upset. You sure there's nothing hurting you?
Positive.
I got some dandy salve here.
I don't need it.
Guaranteed to take the soreness out.
Granny, I ain't got nothing that's sore.
Put that on and come back tomorrow.
Mr. Clampett, I think that should do it.
Next! That's you, Jed. Come on.
Well, maybe Miss Jane would like to take my turn.
Well, I'm afraid I have to hurry right back to the office.
All right, I'll squeeze you in ahead of Jed.
I meant I have to get back there immediately. You see, Mr. Drysdale isn't feeling well.
Mr. Drysdale is ailing? Fetch him over.
It's just a cold, Granny, and that's one thing you doctors haven't conquered yet.
What do you mean?
Well, there is no known cure for the common cold.
You mean to tell me the city doctors ain't got no cure for a cold?
Well, they can alleviate the symptoms, but no one has a cure.
Well, Granny has. She's been making it as long as I can remember.
A cold cure?
1 spoonful's all it takes.
But the greatest research scientists and doctors in the world have been working on this problem.
Well, tell them to stop it. I come up with a cold cure 45 years ago.
You did?
Well, I thought everybody knew. It was wrote up in the Razorback Hog Breeders' Gazette.
Right on the front page.
I suppose doctors and scientists don't read that.
Well, how can I get the word to them?
I'll take that up with Mr. Drysdale.
Well, tell him to cheer up. Granny's gonna cure his cold.
Yes, I'll warn... tell him. Bye.
Bye.
He did? Oh, that's good. Bye. I'll have to start mopping up a batch of my cold cure, Jed. Mr. Drysdale's on his way over.
He is?
Yep. The girl said he's going to see the doctor.
All right, Milburn, you can put your coat back on.
Are you through already?
That's right.
What's the verdict?
You have a cold.
I knew that when I came in. Now, what are you going to do for it?
I'm going to recommend that you eat sensibly, drink lots of fluids, get plenty of rest. And in a week or 10 days, you'll be all right.
Well, wait a minute. Aren't you going to give me a shot of something?
Well, if you insist, I imagine I have some brandy around somewhere.
I mean a shot for my cold, like penicillin.
Brandy will do you just as much good, and it won't hurt.
What kind of a doctor are you?
I am a busy one. Now, I'll see you later.
Roy?
Oh, come on, Milburn. I've told you before there is no cure for the common cold.
Well, then why did you have me come over here?
I didn't. You barged into my waiting room without an appointment.
You certainly got me in here in a hurry.
Of course I did. The way you were coughing and sneezing around my other patients, you were a menace to public health.
What a git! You haven't done one thing that I couldn't have done myself.
Fine. Next time, save yourself the $10.
Rattlesnake weed. Secret ingredient at floor. Corn squeezins. Ellie, that's the strongest batch I ever made. It'll cure cold in a hurry, huh? I mean my corn squeezins. Won't know about my cold cure till it works for a spell. Look, Granny, it's working now. They can hold right through the blanket. That ain't my cold cure. I forgot to put the cork back in my jug. Where are you, Mr. Drysdale? Mr. Drysdale? Jed, I can't find Mr. Drysdale. You got him upstairs in bed?
No, Granny. It turns out that the doctor he was going to see wasn't you, it was Dr. Clyburn.
Dr. Clyburn, he ain't got no cold cure. He can't even grow hair.
Take that.
That highfalutin society sawbones, he mean-mouthed me, called me a witch doctor. And after I growed a crop of hair on that gourd head of his.
Yeah, but it seems that after a spell, all that new hair fell out.
I just grow it. I ain't got time to garden it.
Where you going?
I'm going down to that Clyburn's office, and I'm going to show him up. I'm going to give Mr. Drysdale my cold cure in front of everybody.
Now, Granny, you don't want to shame a man by out-doctoring him in his own office with his patients looking on. Why, it could cost him his livelihood, break his spirit in the bargain.
Yeah, I reckon you're right, Jed. Us older and wiser doctors should be helping the young'uns. There's a bond among physicians that's bigger than personal feelings.
That's a spirit.
It's a high calling, Jed. The art of healing.
Ain't none higher.
You know, we have to take a pledge to end suffering wherever we find it.
I know.
I'm proud to be a doctor.
And we're proud of you.
Kind of chokes you up, don't it?
Yes, for a fact.
Yeah.
Hot dog, you're out of the kitchen. Now I can eat.
Hold on, boy. You gotta drive me into town.
But, Granny, I'm already 2 snacks behind schedule, and I'm starving.
Sorry, boy, this is doctor business.
And nothing comes ahead of ending suffering.
Good, I'm going in the kitchen and end mine.
You can hold out till mealtime, and I'll get on this truck.
Okay. What if I pass out at the wheel?
You have a doctor sitting right beside you.
Where y'all go?
Granny's going down to Dr. Clyburn's office.
She is? Hey, Ellie, come on along and watch the fun.
What fun?
Why, the way that rascal mean-mouthed Granny, she's going to turn him every way but loose.
Yeah, he called Granny a voodoo witch doctor.
Said the only medicine she knows is saying spells and sticking pins in dolls.
Then she ought to wear a bone through her hair.
And a shark's tooth necklace.
Toad a shrunk head.
Watching Granny and old Dr. Clyburn tangle is going to be pretty near as much fun as eating.
Now, just a minute.
Hey, Granny, you want me to fetch your shotgun? Or are you going to take him on bare knuckles?
That's your shotgun, Ellie.
Now, that's enough. Granny decided to let bygones be bygones. She ain't going down to Dr. Clyburn's toting no shotgun, right, Granny?
That's right. I'm gonna take him on bare knuckles.
Here it is, Granny. Roy S. Clyburn, M.D.
Now, Granny, before you go in there, I want you to promise me again that
Now,
you...
Jed, stop worrying. Now, cool down. I'm here as one doctor helping another to share the fruits of my medical research.
Well, that's fine. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
There's a bond between all us physicians.
Yeah, I know.
It's a high calling.
True.
I'm proud to be one.
Hey, Uncle Jed, if there ain't going to be no scrap, can Ellie and me go get something to eat?
Yeah, this ain't going to be no fun.
It's going to be better than fun. It's going to be a lesson in folks forgetting their own feelings for the good of mankind. And I want you youngins to see it. Mr. Drysdale must be inside with the doctor.
I'll go take a look. You sit down. Hey, you in there, open up.
Please, madam.
You ought to wash this window. It's so dirty I can't hardly see through it.
What did you wish?
Mr. Drysdale in there?
No, he's gone.
Oh, well, then you tell Dr. Clyburn that I got something for him.
Did you have an appointment?
No, but he'll be glad to see me.
I'm afraid Dr. Clyburn is booked up for weeks.
Well, I ain't gonna sit here that long. Now, you tell him that Dr. Granny is here to give him a cold cure. Interested in stock, are you?
Yes.
Did you ever read the Razorback Hog Breeders Gazette?
No.
My cold cure was on the front page of it. You got a cold?
No.
What's bothering you?
Yes.
From the looks of you, I'd say your gizzard is acting up. Does it hurt you when I poke you?
Here she is, Doctor.
Hello, Roy. Say, I think this fella's got an ailing gizzard. Now, if you're busy, I'll take him in yonder and give him a good going over.
Nurse, show Mr. Parker into examination room B.
Yes, Doctor.
I didn't bring my bag, Roy. I'll have to borrow a few things from you.
You see, young'un? Granny and Dr. Clyburn is working together already. Let this be a lesson to you. If you're big enough to swallow your pride and offer your hand in friendship,
Put me down, you good-headed twig!
Out, all of you, out! Oh, no, not you.
Don't forget, I won't give you my cold cure!
Excuse me, Dr. Clyburn, but I'm disappointed in you.
Ray.
I am for a fact. Like I was just saying to the young'uns, I said, with Granny swallowing her pride and coming forward like she done in the spirit of goodwill, and...
Uncle Jed.
What?
Is the friendship lesson over?
I kind of think it is.
Hot dog! Let's go home and eat.
Jethro, where do you think you're going? There's no medical buildings on this street.
Please, Granny, let's go home and have some victuals. We've been to 6 medical buildings, and not one of them's had a vacancy.
Boy's right, Granny. You just might have to do your doctorate at home.
No! If I'm gonna show up that Clyburn, I gotta have me an office in town.
Hey, Granny, maybe Mr. Drysdale's got an empty office.
Good idea. Turn the truck around.
Excuse me, Chief, the Clampetts are in my office.
Mr. Drysdale? Who's a better doctor, Clyburn or me?
What? You are, Granny.
Clyburn cure a cold?
No.
Can he make medicine better than me?
No.
Has he been doctoring longer than me?
No.
Then can I have an office here in your building?
No.
No.
She means no vacancy. Otherwise, we'd be proud to have you. Proud.
There's a sign downstairs that says the penthouse is for rent.
Can I have it?
No.
No.
She means no problem. Miss Hathaway, see that the penthouse is made ready for the doctor immediately.
But Chief, you got...
Never mind, Miss Jean. Granny knows exactly what she wants. You got a whole family to help her. Come on, Doc.
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, I left your cold cure on the truck. But you come up to my office later. You can be my first patient.
Chief, practicing medicine without a license is a criminal offense, and if you rent her an office, that
Relax. She can't practice medicine without patients. So, we'll tell the switchboard operator not to ring, and the elevator operator not to take anyone up.
But it...
By tonight, Granny will be ready to forget the whole thing and go home. In the meantime, we will have collected the first and last month's rent.
If she does treat a patient, somebody is going to jail.
Oh, stop worrying. Your job will be waiting for you when you get out.
Any patients waiting to see me?
No, ma'am, doctor.
Any appointments?
No, ma'am.
Any emergencies?
No, ma'am.
Has the hospital called?
No, ma'am. Nobody's called and nobody's come. We might as well be sitting home in the root cellar.
Ain't right. Folks are sitting around Clyburn's office suffering. Here I am with 50 years of doctoring behind me. What's that I smell?
I smell it, too.
Oh! I got some stuff in the sterilizer. I'll take care of it.
Office and fetch back some sick folks.
Okay, Granny. See you later.
I need you to drive me.
I'm sorry, Granny. I got emergency here.
What emergency?
I'm trying to keep from starving to death.
You can eat later. Come on.
But, Granny, I haven't eaten.
Now! And bring my doctor's bag.
Yes, ma'am. I'm coming.
You may go in now. Examination room C. Mr. Booth, I'm afraid the doctor isn't going to have time to see any salesmen today.
Oh, but I have to fly back to San Francisco tonight.
Oh, Miss Murray, would you get me to Henderson X-rays,
Yes,
please?
sir.
Thank you.
Oh, Dr. Clyburn, I'm from Hencal Pharmaceuticals.
Another time, please. I've had a hard day.
But I have this new combiotic.
Another time.
I've been trying to see you for several days.
I'm busy.
But just take a look at my tetracycline combiotic.
I haven't time. Show it to another doctor.
I've been to every doctor in the building. You're the last one.
Then come back tomorrow.
Tomorrow's too late. I'll be gone.
That's your problem.
You poor man. I heard what he said to you, but all doctors are not like him. What is it you wanted to show him?
I have an advanced tetracycline combiotic.
Lord love you. I got something that'll ease your pain. You'll have to come to my office.
I can't come to your office.
Catch him, lunchmouth. There's no time to lose.
What about my case?
I'm taking it.
Dr. Clyburn!
Uh-huh. That little broomstick jockey is practicing medicine. I warned you, Drysdale.
I warned you, Miss Hathaway.
Somebody is in big trouble.
That's you, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, hi, Dr. Clyburn. You want to see Dr. Granny?
You bet I do.
Well, just take a seat. She's busy right now. You too, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane.
You tell her I want to see her, and I mean I want to see her now.
What's all the commotion out here? Oh, it's you. Come to apologize, did you?
I came to see that you go to jail. And all I need is for you to sign a complaint.
Oh, I have no complaint. I've just been made West Coast distributor for the first cold cure in medical history.
You bean brain, there is no cure for the common cold.
Granny's got one.
I don't believe it.
My hand on the book. It ain't failed in 45 years.
Well, Clyburn, wait until the papers get hold of this. Doctor tries to suppress cold cure.
Publicity. She really has an effective cure?
One spoonful's all it takes.
Ah. Well, I'll tell you what. If Granny will give up this office, I'll forget about everything that's happened up until now.
It's a deal.
But first of all, I want to find out more about this cold cure.
Come down to my office, Roy.
Yeah. Oh, okay, no worries.
I'll be right with you. Don't forget I have exclusive distribution.
Granny, I apologize. This morning I didn't believe you. Your cold cure really works.
Positively, if you follow directions.
By the way, what are the directions?
Take 1 spoonful of cold cure, eat sensible, Get lots of rest and drink plenty of water.
And in a week or 10 days, your cold will be gone.
A week or 10 days.
That's all it takes.
Ain't failed in 45 years.
Can we go back in your office? I think I'm going to be sick.
Oh, I love this house, Doc. It's perfect for small impromptu parties. I'm going to buy it. That front lawn needs something. A fountain. With a statue. What's that statue by Rodin that I like so much?
The kiss?
Buy it.
I don't think it's for sale.
Buy it.
Well, howdy, folks. What can I do for you?
That's Tracy Richards. The Tracy Richards. She likes the house.
Well, ain't that nice?
I'm Miss Richards' secretary. If the owner's on the premises...
Doug?
Yes.
The chandelier can stay. But this whole wall comes out. Dreadful drapes. Yes, I think this will work out rather nicely.
Well, ma'am, I'm right pleased.
Is there an elevator?
Well, no, ma'am. Generally, we just...
Doug, what's the name of the decorator who did my first villa in Portofino?
Scapita. Guglielmo Scapita.
Yes, fly him over. He's just right for this place.
Very well.
Who's them goomers, Jed?
Oh, if I know.
What do they want?
Don't know that either for sure. He asked if we had an elevator. Could be they're selling them.
Tell them we don't need one.
So far, I ain't been able to get a how-to-do in edgeways.
Awful. Perhaps this wall could come out, too. We'll see what Guglielmo says. Let's go.
Don't you want to see any more of the house?
No need to. I like it.
We're real pleased that you like
Doug, we're going to be late for the art auction, and I must have that Marteau. Now, hurry.
Very well. Can you tell me who owns this house?
Jed owns it.
Mr. Jed?
Jed Clampett, but
Thank you very much. Miss Richards is buying the house.
10, 20, $30.
Is this all they're offering for the place?
I don't hardly think so. I don't know what we paid for it, but I believe that it would top this.
Doug, what is the delay? Have you concluded the deal?
Well, no. You see,
How long does it take to buy a mansion? Get it done. I'm double popped.
I'm afraid the Clampett estate is not for sale.
Do you know who I am?
Well, I know you're one of the richest women in the world.
Not one of the richest. The richest. And when I choose to buy something, it becomes for sale.
well, you see, Mr. Drysdale, who handles the business affairs for the Clampett family, is out of town.
Summon him.
He's traveling by car, but he should... Oh, excuse me, that's Mr. Drysdale's private line. He should be back tonight or tomorrow.
I'm not waiting until tonight or tomorrow. I want that mansion today. Now.
But
let's go talk to the owner.
We have.
When?
This morning, the man who met us at the door.
You're joking. That rural Rasputin was...
J.D. Clampett.
Well, this is going to be simple. Get the papers ready.
Howdy, ma'am.
Hello, Mr. Clampett. I suppose you know who I am.
You bet I do. You're the lady come out this morning wanting to buy the place.
I'm Tracy Richards. The Tracy Richards.
Yeah, that's what the fella said. Unusual first name, the. Sit down, sit down. Like to whittle?
No, thank you. Now, let's dispense with the small talk. I like this house.
So do we. A funny thing, when we moved in, we didn't care too much about it, especially Granny, but it kind of growed on us.
Mr. Clampett, I'm willing to pay your price.
For what?
For this house. This estate.
Oh, well, we ain't looking to sell.
I don't want to bargain with you. I want to buy this house.
Yeah, but like I say, ma'am, we ain't looking to sell.
But you don't understand. Money is no object. I'll give you a blank check.
Well, ma'am, if I turn down $40 cash, I sure ain't gonna take no blank check.
deliberately being facetious.
I am?
No one treats me like this. No one.
Like what, ma'am?
Always get what I want, and I'm going to get this house. He actually defied me. Worse than that, I think he was laughing at me. That bumpkin, that hayseed. Oh, Doug, what are you doing?
I've been on the phone, Miss Richards. I've checked every source I know. There just isn't much on Mr. Clampett.
Well, I don't need much to ruin him. What clubs does he belong to?
None.
What corporations is he connected with?
None.
Well, he must do something.
He whittles a lot.
I know that.
Now, Miss Richards, there must be hundreds of beautiful mansions in Beverly Hills. Now,
But
why
I
not?
want that one. No bearded hick is going to keep me from getting it.
Well, this bearded hick's pretty independent. You might finally have found a man that you can't buy.
Everyone has a price. And what else did you find out about him?
Not much. He's a widower, completely devoted to his family, and as
His
far as...
family. Tell me about them.
Well, first of all, there's Granny.
You know, they say a house takes on the personality of those who live in it. This one has certainly taken on your charming personality.
Really?
And that of your beautiful daughter.
Oh, Ellie Mae ain't my daughter. She's my granddaughter.
Teasing me. You can't be a grandmother.
Oh, but I am. Ain't I, Ellie? Yes'm.
But you're so young.
I'm older than I look. Ain't I, Ellie? Yes'm. Get that varmint out of my kitchen.
Yes, Granny. You don't see many pet raccoons.
I do. That girl's got a pet everything. I never seen anyone so critter crazy.
It must be quite a problem for you.
Oh, you don't know the problems that I've got. But then, you don't want to hear about that.
But I do.
Well, I don't blame you. You do?
I do.
Sit down. Sit down. Let me take your coat.
Thank you.
Oh, my. That's a nice soft hide. Where did it come from?
I believe that came from Bergdorf's.
Sure is nice. Would you like some coffee, or do you like your troubles straight?
Coffee would be nice.
Yeah, it would. But I just remembered that's one of my problems. Jethro forgot to go to the store. How would you like a little bite to eat?
Oh, well, fine, if it's no trouble.
No trouble at all. I just happen to have some nice cold possum and gopher gravy in the icebox.
Oh, Granny, I have an idea. Let's go to my hotel for a snack where we can have some coffee, too.
Well, that would be nice. I ain't never been to a big city hotel. I bet it gets spruced up.
No, you look fine. And maybe Ellie would like to join us.
I know she would. Ellie Mae! Shed that critter! Come on! We're going to have victuals at the big city hotel.
Dog, she's back! Granny, where'd you get the coat?
Miss Richards, give it to me. Feel it.
What kind of hide is it?
Comes from a critter called a Bergdorf.
Oh, this handsome young man must be Jethro.
Say hello, Jethro.
Hello, Jethro.
Where's Jed?
Who?
Your Uncle Jed. Where is he?
I left him at the bank. I think.
Well, we's going to Miss Richards' hotel to have victuals.
Would you like to join us, Jethro?
Boy, I'll say.
Come on. You and me can sit up on the bench and talk.
Oh, Granny, why don't we take my car?
Good view from up there.
I've seen everything.
All right. I'll see what's keeping Ellie. Ellie Mae! Come on!
Jethro, would you like to drive my car?
Would I?
Where's Jethro going? I don't know. He just drove away.
He'll be back. He don't know where we're going for victuals.
He loves to drive, doesn't he?
Wait till you see him eat.
any calls? Okay, thank you.
Oh, hi, Miss Jane.
Mr. Clampett, how long have you been here?
Well, quite a spell. I come as soon as I got the call.
What call?
Well, you see, this fella called up and said Mr. Drysdale wanted to see me.
That's strange. Mr. Drysdale's out of town.
Must have heard him wrong.
Oh, incidentally, you may be hearing from a Miss Tracy Richards. She's very anxious to buy your house.
Oh, yeah, she already come to see me. I got her money right here in my pocket.
You didn't sell?
No, ma'am. All she offered was $40.
$40?
Yeah, she started off at 30 and come up 10.
Oh, well, there must be some mistake. Tracy Richards has scads of money.
I reckon she spent it all on that fancy car.
Hardly. She inherited one of the world's great fortunes. Richards Shipping, Richards Hotel, Richards Steel, lumber, paper, electronics. You name it, she's got it.
Well, she sure ain't turning loose much of it.
In here, Chief. You're back early.
Yes, Mr. Clampett.
Howdy, Mr. Drysdale.
What a delightful surprise to find you here, There's nothing wrong, is there?
No, Miss Jane and me were just talking about that woman who wants to buy my house.
Buy your house?
Have no fear, Chief. We both turned her down.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'd rather lose an arm than my good neighbor here. Who is the woman?
Tracy Richards.
Well, if she thinks he's going to get Mr. Clampett's house, she's got another. The Tracy Richards?
That's the one. Uncommon first name, eh?
Richards Shipping, hotels, steel, lumber, paper, electronics.
That's the one. The richest girl in the world.
Oh.
Now, calm down, Mr. Drysdale. I told her nothing doing.
But if she really wants the house. Look, I always thought that house was too big for Granny to take care of. All the scrubbing and cleaning, and it is a little damp and cold.
I thought you didn't want to lose us as neighbors.
Well, I don't. You can move into my house.
What will Miss Drysdale do?
We'll sleep in the garage. I can pitch a tent, dig a cave, build a treehouse. There must be some way to get the Richards account and still keep everybody happy.
What in tarnation? Where you all been?
We've been to Miss Tracy's for victuals.
Get up in the penthouse in what you call the terrace.
Yeah, we could see for miles. Just like being back in the mountains.
You ain't never seen so much food in all your born days. I had 14 helpings.
Whole string of fellas just wheeling it in and wheeling it out.
No dishes to wash.
Nothing to do except poke at the victuals.
Wait on hand and foot.
Sure beats working your fingers to the bone in this old rock pile.
Sure does.
I'll say.
We should be thankful Miss Tracy wants to take it off of our hands.
Nicest woman that ever drawed a breath.
Regular angel.
Salt of the earth. Jed, you haven't said anything about our new Dodge.
Yeah, how do we look?
Bought and paid for.
What?
You get into this car, all of you, and take this stuff back
Uncle
where...
Jed. Excuse me, you're getting your fingerprints all over my car.
Your car?
Yes, sir. My sweetheart gave it to me.
Sweetheart? You mean Miss Richards?
I am plumb out of my skull about her.
Out of your skull is right. I think all three of yous popped your stoppers.
Jed, what do you got against this sweet lady?
Can't you see she's just using you to get what she wants? She is the most willful, headstrong, spoiled, rotten woman that I've...
I'll have to ask you not to talk that way about the woman that I'm going to marry.
That tears it. Jethro, get in there and get her on the phone.
Now, remember, she's all mine.
Yeah, come on, I'll remember. Get in there and get her on the phone.
Hey, and no bird dogging.
Yeah.
Isn't it exquisite, Doug? And I stole it for only $90,000. I'm going to hang it in the drawing room of the mansion, where those hillbillies have that feed store calendar.
I must admit, Miss Richards, that you have three of them run over, but let me point out to you again. It takes Mr. Clampett's signature to make...
That will be Mr. Clampett calling right now.
What?
I'll take it. Hello there. Hello? Hello, who is this?
This is your sweetie.
The human disposal. Hello, handsome.
Give me that. Hello, Miss Richards. This here is Jed Clampett speaking.
Oh, hello, Mr. Clampett. I'm so glad you called. I'm very anxious to talk to you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I got a few words to say to you, too. Now, if you think for a minute you can bribe... Hello?
Hello?
I said, if you think for 1 minute you can... Something like we got a bad connection.
Yes, it's terrible.
Well, I'll call you back.
Well, I'm afraid it's my phone. It's been acting this way for days. If you really want to talk, I think you better come over here.
Well, I can...
It's the penthouse of the Richards Plaza. Bye. Type out the sales agreement, fill the fountain pen, ice a bottle of champagne, and get lost.
Did we get away, Ellie? Well, I reckon. Who was we running from? From your Paul. He was making noises like he wanted to take the stuff back.
Sure hope he sells Miss Tracy this old house.
Me, too. We could live like kings and queens in that hotel of hern.
Yeah, servants to do everything.
Yeah. No beds to make.
No floors to scrub.
No garden to hoe.
No yards to rake.
No meals to cook.
No kitchen to clean.
No critters to look after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ellie?
Yeah, Granny?
I don't want to live in no hotel.
Me neither. Let's take this stuff back.
Good idea. But we gotta take it back clean. Get the washer to going.
Just a moment. Coming. Come right in.
Thank you, Miss Richards.
Who are you?
Milburn Drysdale, president of the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills. You know, it's kind of dark in here. I'll open the drape so we can see what we're doing.
Now, wait a minute. What do you want?
Well, there's a piece of property you are interested in acquiring. And as a depositor in my bank, I will use my influence in your behalf.
But I'm not a depositor in your bank.
Yes, well, that's what I'm here to talk about. Now, I have taken the liberty of analyzing your financial situation. Could we have a little light?
Get out of here. I'm expecting company.
But I have a plan whereby you can acquire the Clampett Mansion.
So do I, and you're going to ruin it. Now, take this. Oh, no. Get in there, and if you make one sound, I'll buy your bank and burn it down. Who is it?
Jed Clampett, ma'am.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, how nice of you to come. We have so much to talk about.
Well, won't take me long to speak my piece.
You haven't even told me how you like my little place here.
Well, it's right nice, what I can see of it. Gotta knock a few windows in it, though.
It's a marvelous idea. Thank you.
Now, ma'am, I come here to talk about all that stuff you give my family. I don't hold with that, and every bit of it is coming back.
You know, when you're angry, your eyes flash blue fire.
It ain't that I don't hold. They do?
I'll put out the fire.
You ain't gonna put it out like that.
Oh, let's be friends.
You went about that the right way.
Uncle Jed! You're stealing my woman.
I'm not your woman.
See, you already stole her.
Get out of here. You're going to spoil everything.
Mr. Drysdale, how many men you got around here anyhow?
2 more than I need.
Just for that, I ain't gonna marry you. You're too fickle. You can have your old car back, too.
Miss Richards, here's the things you give us. We wanted to fetch them back to you clean. but they wouldn't take a washing worth shucks, especially this feathered shawl.
Yeah. Granny's last soap just took the stripes right off this year's zebra.
So I didn't want to take a chance and wash the spots off of this bird dog.
Thank you.
Let's go home, huh?
Yeah, Jed, don't sell our house.
Never aimed to. Well, Miss Richards, you're welcome to come visit us anytime.
Forget it.
Well, just trying to be friendly.
Now, you'll forgive me if I don't show you to the door.
Come on, family. I think it's time we go home.
Now then, about this plan of mine.
You two, out. Not that way. That way.
Miss Richards, that's 30 floors.
Happy landing.
Listen! If I do jump, will you open an account in my bank? Miss Richards? Miss Richards! Please, Miss Richards!
Oh, Milton, these charity affairs are so thrilling.
Expensive, too.
All the people are here.
Everyone they could put the bite on.
There are the Gaylord debuts from Pasadena. Yoo-hoo! Rosemary!
Isn't she a mess?
The race has started.
Quick, Melvin, let me have the binoculars. Oh, this is terrible.
What?
We're giving a party after the race, and Evelyn and Gladys are wearing identical dresses.
I'll have Mr. Drysdale call the moment he returns. Oh, before you hang up, could I speak to Jethro, please?
Well, he ain't here right now. He's out giving Granny another driving lesson. Yeah, she likes to be able to get around on her own, so she
Hey,
can do...
Pa, I think you better come quick. Granny's headed up the front line.
Oh, you're back, Miss Jean. That's Granny's driving, all right. Granny, are you hurt?
No, I'm all right. Out. And you call yourself a driving teacher?
Not no more. I'm through. I done give my last driving lessons. Uncle Jed, she's getting worse instead of better.
Where'd you hit the tree?
Out in front of the Drysdales.
It's your fault. You told me to turn around. So I turned around. That's when we walked into the tree.
Granny, I meant turn the car around. She was starting up a one-way street.
You shouldn't have yelled at me with all them cars heading right for us. I'm through risking my life with them contraptions. Too many people on the street driving around that have no business.
That's the truth. Jethro, you need any help getting the truck out of here?
Shucks, no, Uncle Jed. There's only one end to lift.
Won't Jethro and me take this tree over to the Drysdales and set it back into the ground?
Yeah, now'd be a good time to do it, too, while they're still at the park looking at the horses.
Horses? Jed, did you say the Drysdales buying a horse?
Well, Miss Jean didn't say nothing about them buying one. She just said they were going out to look at some trotters.
By dingies, that's what I need. A high-stepping trotter and a shiny buggy.
It would be trying to drive that truck. I don't recall ever seeing a buggy in Beverly Hills.
Maybe they're gonna make a comeback.
Could be. I've been hearing a lot about there being too many automobiles and how they's causing smog and traffic jams.
And accidents. I seen 3 of them just while I was driving.
Is that a fact?
I was in 2 of them.
It would be a lot safer driving a horse and buggy. 2 heads is always better than one, especially when one belongs to a horse.
I just bet they're gonna come back in style. That's why Miss Drysdale's buying one.
Now, hold on. Miss Jane didn't say they was buying one.
I know Miss Drysdale. She's always got to be the first in the neighborhood. Where'd Miss Jane say they was going?
Someplace called Hollywood Park.
That sounds just like the spot where they'd have a barbecue and a horse auction. Let's go.
Now, hold on, Granny. We don't know if they's having a horse auction. Miss Jean said it's Society Day out there, and we sure don't want to get mixed up in that.
Oh, Jed, I feel so grand driving around Beverly Hills in a nice shiny buggy with yellow wheels and black leather seats and a red fringe on the top.
Whoa, Granny. Let me call Miss Jean and see can we get the horse before you start fitting out the buggy.
I want a high-step stepper with a long, silky mane, with lots of spirit, a real prancer.
Chief, Mrs. Drysdale?
Miss Hathaway, what are you doing here? Something wrong at the bank?
No, Chief, but Mr. Clampett called.
Something wrong with the Clampetts?
No, Chief.
Then what are you doing at the racetrack on my time?
The nature of Mr. Clampett's call was such that I felt justified in coming here. It seems that Granny is most...
If you two are going to discuss those revolting hillbillies, I'm going to the turf club. Where the conversation is on a higher level.
What is it? What about the Clampetts?
Well, it seems the Clampetts want to buy a trotting horse.
What?
Apparently your being here today gave them the idea.
Oh, I knew I shouldn't have come. That wife of mine's to blame.
Now, wait, Chief. The idea has some merit.
Are you off your rocker? Those horses cost a fortune. The idea is to keep their money in my bank, not spend it.
But hear me out.
I'll throw you out! Now you go back there and change your minds and dock yourself all the time you've wasted.
Chief, please. Listen to my thoughts on the matter. Sorry. Actually, the Clampetts purchasing a racehorse may have many advantages, both financial and otherwise.
You're raving.
First of all, it is a capital investment, subject to depreciation and capital gain and loss taxes.
Really?
Yes. Secondly, it ties in with their love of animals, their desire to own livestock.
Yeah.
And it could erase the threat of their moving back to the country.
How?
Well, an occasional visit to the stables might very well satisfy their urge for the rural life.
Yeah. And you're sure of the tax advantages, eh?
I checked with our expert at the bank. And, in addition to all this, it is just possible that their horse might win a vast amount of money.
Terrific! Terrific! Oh, by George, this is one of the best ideas I've ever had.
Congratulations, Chief.
Just doing my job. Well, let's go down to the stables and buy the most beautiful horse we can find.
Oh, perhaps the Clampetts would like to pick it out themselves.
No. I don't want them to change their minds. I want them to see that horse this afternoon and fall in love with it. Meantime, you make arrangements for boarding it.
Right, Chief.
Oh, by the way, about your coming here, I'm sorry that I yelled at you. In fact, I think you deserve a reward.
Really?
Yes. Just forget about docking yourself.
Thank you.
How soon do you want me to come back for you, Doc?
Oh, half an hour, 45 minutes. Mr. Drysdale said to give Mr. Clampett a good look at Lady Belle, then we'll take her to the boarding stables.
Howdy. What you got in there?
$30,000 worth of horse flesh.
Hot dog. We's gonna eat tonight. Say, fellas, there's a live horse in here. Beauty, too.
Yeah, she's one of the finest in the country. Big money winner at Hollywood Park.
Is that so? I won some money at a park once, shooting them little ducks as they go along. How did you win?
Guessing people's weight.
Gee, that's a smart horse.
You're not Mr. Clampett, are you?
No, sir. He's my uncle.
Would you tell him his horse is here?
Is this my Uncle Jed's horse?
Yeah, Mr. Drysdale arranged the purchase.
Boy, wait till Ellie hears about this. She's been wanting a zebra, but this is pretty near as good, yeah.
Well, he's running around loose.
Maybe they're cleaning his cage.
Jed! Uncle Jed! Uncle Jed!
What is it, boy?
Your horse is here.
Horse?
What horse?
The one from Hollywood Park. The smart one. It's out front right now. I'll go find Ellie.
Jed, you sweet old rascal. You wanted to surprise me.
No, Granny,
Yes, you did, and you're the nicest son-in-law a woman ever had. And I'm going to kiss you.
Well, honestly, must
you
have been
know
Miss
how
Jane.
I like surprises.
Well, no, Granny,
I love you, Jed. You darling man.
Well, you see, I didn't.
And you gonna let me kiss you, or ain't you?
Granny,
You wanted to surprise me, didn't you?
Yeah, now let's go out and look at the horse.
Hey, mister, whose horse?
She belongs to Mr. J.D. Clampett.
Pa bought a horse? Well, she's a beauty. Howdy, girl.
Careful now, she's skittish.
No, she ain't. We's gonna be friends, ain't we? I'll give you carrots and sugar lumps.
You certainly have a way with horses.
I like critters.
I've never seen Lady Bell take to anyone like she has to you.
Oh, Jed, she's a dandy.
Her name's Lady Bell, Granny. Oh, thank you for getting her.
Sure, I'm getting a lot of kissing that ain't rightfully mine. Good chest on her.
Mr. Clampett?
Yes, sir.
I'm Doc Pritchett, Lady Bell's handler.
Oh, pleased to meet you. Mighty fine animal.
Oh, thank you. I have some papers here that have to be signed.
Well, come on in the house.
All right.
We's all kind of surprised by this.
Mr. Drysdale made all the arrangements. Got yourself a mighty fine trotter there.
Yes, sir.
Between us, I don't care much about this buggy.
Maybe it's a city-style buggy.
City or country, there's got to be a place for the reins. This thing must weigh a ton. Take a plow horse to pull it.
Well, it's got rubber tires and nice windows.
You don't know how you drive it. There ain't no place to sit down in here. You know what I'd do if this thing was mine? I'd let the horse ride in it.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Clampett.
That's all right.
Come on, Pa. I'll show you her teeth.
Well, Mr. Clampett tells me that Lady Bell is going to be your horse. What do you think of her?
She's fine. But I don't see how she pulls that heavy contraption around.
Oh, she doesn't. She's a sulky horse.
I don't blame her. Where's the rig she likes to pull?
Oh, that's over at the stables, along with the harness and the other equipment.
Well, I'd like to have it.
Up here?
Of course. I want to show off around the neighborhood.
Well, Mr. Drysdale said anything you want. May I use your phone?
Right in the hall. Help yourself.
Granny, I think you're going to be real happy with this mare.
I'll be happier when her buggy gets here. That fella's having her sent up from the stables.
Well, can I ride her out to the gate and back?
Let me have a turn on her first, Ellie. I think I'll gallop by Miss Drysdale's and give her a look.
You want a leg up?
Of course not. I've never needed any help to get on a horse. Just give me a little running room. I'm just as spry as I ever was. Now hold still, Lady Bell.
What could have happened? She's been gone for half an hour.
Nothing to worry about. Granny sets a horse like most folks set a rocker.
Yeah, but Lady Bell isn't a saddle horse.
That's all right. Granny ain't using one.
Excuse me, Mr. Clamp.
Nervous kind of fella. Ought to take up whittling.
Here's your sulky, Doc.
Never mind that. We got to find Lady Bell.
She run off?
She was ridden off. Bareback.
A $30,000 trotter?
Come on, let's go.
Jet, what's this thing?
You reckon it's Granny's buggy?
Well, if it is, most of it's missing.
Come around the yard once, Jethro.
Okay. Hold it, young'uns. Yonder comes Granny.
Whoa, Lady Bell. Whoa, girl. What's that?
I'm afraid that's the buggy the fella promised you.
Jed, it looks like we've been took.
Well, he got shorted a mite on the buggy, but there's nothing wrong with the horse. Is there? What is it?
I must have rode her 10 miles. Used every trick I know. Never could get her to go faster than a trot. Is everything ready, Jed?
Man's got Lady Bell all hitched and harnessed up.
Did they find the back half of the buggy?
Well, now, about that, I'm afraid them fellas at the horse auction see Mr. Drysdale coming.
What you mean?
You wouldn't believe what kind of money he paid for that horse and buggy.
Not more than $100, I hope.
Well, they would top that a little. Gotta remember, he's a city fella, and he thought he was doing us a powerful favor.
Well, let's go look at it.
Well, now, what I wanted to tell you was, Mr. Drysdale and Miss Jane just come. And I want you to try extra hard not to act disappointed in front of him.
All right.
Well, Granny, there she is, all decked out and ready to go. How do you like it?
Fine, Mr. Drysdale. Just fine.
The chief made a wonderful purchase, don't you think?
Sure. Sure.
Well, come take a closer look. Sit in the driver's seat. Oh, you'll get a big thrill out of it.
Driver's seat. Where is the rest of you supposed to ride?
We'll take care of it.
Can't even go to the market in that thing. No place to carry your groceries.
I'll fix it for you. Now, come on. Look for some good things to say.
Like what?
What do you think of him, Granny?
Well,
She loves it. I picked a real winner for you, Granny.
you think so?
Oh, yes. You can bring home the bacon with this.
Where?
Where?
There ain't even a place to put your feet.
Say, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane, I just remembered. Granny baked up some special coffee cake to show her appreciation to you folks. Now, Ellie Mae, why don't you take them in the kitchen and serve them up a big helping?
Yes, sir,
Well,
pal.
I'm not especially hungry.
Neither am I.
You don't want to hurt Granny's feelings, do you?
Oh, no.
How's the set, Granny?
Poor.
Now, don't you worry. Jethro and me will build you a box so you can put your feet and your groceries in.
But, Jed, this rig ain't for hauling, it's for racing.
Racing?
Yeah, I was talking to the doc yonder. He says the fella that sold it to Mr. Drysdale didn't do nothing else. Went all around the country racing.
All right, doggies, I'll bet you that's the reason he stripped this buggy down so he'd get as light as he could.
Jed, I like racing as well as the next person. And I even took some things off Pearl's buggy so I could beat Elverna Bradshaw. But this is ridiculous.
Maybe the reason that he had to strip it down special light was because the horse was slow.
Slow?
I couldn't even get her to break into a gallop.
Well, that don't make no sense at all. Doc says Lady Bell was bred and trained for nothing but racing. Been in over hundreds of them.
Reckon it was your setting on her that slowed her?
Could be if she wasn't used to it. Hand me them reins, Jethro. I'll give her another try.
You go to bridle, Doc.
Whoa, Lady Bell. That's a good girl.
Well, Granny, I'll bet you've never driven a horse like that before.
Quite a thrill, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Miss Hathaway, let's go right out to Hollywood Park and enter Lady Bell in tomorrow's big race.
Good.
We'll have our money back the first day.
See you in the winner's circle. Tally-ho.
Well, Granny?
Like you said, Jed, they seen Mr. Drysdale coming.
Slow, huh?
A mule skinner couldn't get that turtle to do better than a trot.
Mr. Drysdale, he's already counting the money that Lady Bell's going to win for him tomorrow.
The only way that horse can win a race is setting in the back end of a fast car.
You got one chance. Ellie Mae.
She ain't got a fast car.
Oh, but she's got away with critters.
Forget it.
We got to try for Mr. Drysdale's sake.
How come?
If you knew what he paid for that horse, you wouldn't ask.
Come on, Margaret, let me have the glasses. They're getting ready for the first race.
All right, Milburn, just let me see.
Howdy, folks.
Oh, your box is right behind us.
Oh, thank you.
What are those gentle people doing here?
They happen to own one of the finest trotters in the country.
We're Granny and Ellie Mae.
But down talking to the horse.
Here comes Ellie.
Here, Allie, right up here.
Howdy, everybody.
You know, if Granny doesn't hurry, she's going to miss the first race.
Oh, no, she ain't going to miss it. She's going to be in it.
Yonder they come, getting ready to come in.
I don't see Granny or Lady Bell.
She'll be along in a minute.
Yeah, there was a little trouble about getting her started with the others.
Yonder she comes.
Now, none of this trotting foolishness, Lady Bell. They got a head start on us. If we's gonna catch them, you gotta run like Ellie learns you. Come on now, get up!
Now you're going to
Granny. You done fine. You won fair and square.
And how come they didn't give me the money? Nor put the flowers on me, nor nothing.
Because you was disqualified.
The discovery that Mr. Drysdale has taken his cold to the office of Dr. Roy Clyburn rather than to the Clampett mansion strikes Granny with the force of a personal betrayal. Dr. Clybourne, he ain't got no cold cure, she declares, the name itself already warped by mountain pronunciation into something both dismissive and intimate. He can't even grow hair. The reference is specific and long-nursed. Years earlier, Granny had treated the highfalutin society Sawbones for baldness and had succeeded in raising a temporary crop of hair on that gored head of his. The hair had fallen out again. Of course, Granny never claimed permanence in the matter of follicular gardening, but the memory of the achievement remains vivid and the subsequent insult cuts deeper because of it. He mean mouth me, call me a witch doctor, she continues. The words tumbling out with the accumulated resentment of a professional slight. In Granny's moral universe, one healer does not publicly demean another. The bond among physicians is supposed to be larger than personal feelings. It is a high calling, a spirit, an art of healing that stands above ordinary rivalries. That Dr. Clyburn has violated this unwritten code is to her mind a graver offense than any failure of medical knowledge. Jed Clampett listens with the quiet attentiveness that Buddy Ebsen made the moral center of the series. He does not interrupt the flow of indignation. He simply waits until the first wave has passed and then offers the counsel that has always defined his role in the family. Now, Granny, you don't want to shame a man by out-doctoring him in his own office with his patients looking on. Why, it could cost him his livelihood, break his spirit in the bargain. The speech is pure Jed practical, compassionate and rooted in an ethic of mutual respect that transcends the comic absurdities of the situation. He does not deny Granny's right to feel insulted. He simply asks her to consider the consequences of public humiliation for a man who, whatever his shortcomings, still practices the same art she claims to serve. The appeal works. Granny's anger cools into something more complicated, an injured professional pride tempered by the sudden recollection of the physician's pledge. Yeah, I reckon you're right, Jed. Us older and wiser doctors should be helping the youngsters. There's a bond among physicians that's bigger than personal feelings. That's a spirit. It's a high calling, Jed. The art of healing ain't none higher. The transformation is one of the most delicate pieces of character work in the entire composite narrative. Irene Ryan allows the viewer to watch Granny talk herself from vengeful confrontation into high-minded collegiality without ever losing the essential fire of the character. The decision to approach Dr. Clyburn as one doctor helping another to share the fruits of my medical research is both comic and strangely moving. It reveals a woman who, for all her eccentricity, takes the ethical dimensions of healing with complete seriousness. She will not storm into the office with a shotgun. She will not challenge the younger physician to a bare-knuckle contest of medical authority. She will simply appear, offer her cure, and expect the professional courtesy that one healer owes another. The actual visit to Dr. Clyburn's office unfolds as a masterclass in escalating physical and verbal comedy. Granny arrives with Jed, Jethro, and Ellie Mae in tow, the entire family transformed for the occasion into a supporting medical delegation. The receptionist's attempts to enforce the ordinary protocols of an urban medical practice appointments waiting lists. The sacred boundary of the examination room are swept aside by Granny's absolute conviction that she is on a mission of professional goodwill. Now you tell him that Dr. Granny is here to give him a cold cure, she instructs. When the receptionist hesitates, Granny simply begins to practice. A waiting patient, Mr. Parker, finds himself the sudden object of a mountain diagnosis. From the looks of you, I'd say your gizzard is acting up. Does it hurt you when I poke you? The physical comedy of the moment is exquisite. Granny's hands move with the confidence of long experience. The patient's alarm is immediate and total. Dr. Clyburn's entrance only heightens the chaos. Put me down, you gorgon-headed freak, the patient protests as Granny attempts to continue the examination. The doctor's response is the only one available to a man whose waiting room has been invaded by an unlicensed competitor. Out, all of you, out. The ejection is both comic and thematically precise. City medicine defends its institutional boundaries with the same vigor that mountain medicine defends its practical authority. Dr. Clyburn is not merely protecting his schedule, he is protecting the entire system of credentials, appointments, and professional exclusivity that defines modern medical practice. Granny's presence threatens that system at its root. She carries no license, no diploma, no affiliation with any recognized board. She carries only the confidence of 45 years of successful practice and the unshakable belief that a healer's first duty is to the suffering person in front of her. The collision of these two conceptions of medical authority produces pure situation comedy, yet it also stages a serious argument about the nature of expertise and the right to heal. Jed's attempt to frame the visit as a lesson in professional humility only deepens the irony. You see, young man Granny and Dr. Clavering is working together already. That just be a lesson to you if you're big enough to swallow your pride and offer your hand in friendship. The speech is delivered with complete sincerity. Buddy Ebsen allows Jed to believe for a few luminous moments that the two doctors might actually find common ground. The rapid collapse of that hope Granny ejected, the family sent packing, the friendship lesson declared over, returns the narrative to the comic reality that the series never abandons for long. Mountain wisdom and city credentials remain for the moment incompatible. The decision to open an office of her own grows directly from this failure. If I'm gonna show up that Flyburn, I gotta have me an office in town, Granny declares. The logic is pure competitive instinct tempered by professional pride. She will not continue to practice from the mansion while Dr. Clyburn enjoys the legitimacy of a proper medical suite. She will meet him on his own ground in the same building if possible, and demonstrate the superiority of her methods through the simple accumulation of successful cases. The family's response is characteristically practical. Jethro is hungry, Ellie Mae is ready for the next adventure, Jed is already calculating the diplomatic consequences. Yet none of them seriously opposes the plan. Granny's medical vocation is as central to her identity as Jed's quiet integrity is to his. To deny her an office would be to deny a fundamental part of who she is. Mr. Drysdale's reluctant agreement to provide the penthouse suite is a perfect illustration of the banker's perpetual conflict between self-interest and self-preservation. He knows that allowing Granny to practice medicine without a license is a legal risk. Miss Jane's warnings are explicit and repeated. Chief, practicing medicine without a license is a criminal offense. Drysdale's solution is pure commercial cunning. He will collect the first and last month's rent. He will instruct the switchboard and the elevator operator to keep patients away. By evening he calculates Granny will have grown bored with the absence of clientele and will return home of her own accord. The scheme is elegant, self-serving, and doomed from the moment it is conceived. The series has never allowed Drysdale's cleverness to triumph over the Clampett's sheer force of character for long. The empty office becomes a comic stage of its own. Granny sits behind an improvised desk dressed in the full dignity of her professional role and waits for the suffering of Beverly Hills to find its way to her door. The silence is absolute. No appointments. No emergencies. No calls from the hospital. We might as well be sitting home in the root cellar, she observes, the line carrying both frustration and a stubborn refusal to accept defeat. The family's attempts to help only compound the comedy. Jethro's primary emergency remains his own hunger. Ellie Mae is ready to fetch patients by force if necessary. Jed continues to hope that the entire venture can be resolved without open warfare between the two medical camps. The eventual decision to fetch back some sick folks from Dr. Clyburn's office marks the next escalation. Granny will not wait passively for patients to discover her. She will go where the patients already are and offer them a superior alternative. The abduction of the pharmaceutical salesman Mr. Booth of Henkel Pharmaceuticals is both the comic climax of the sequence and a perfect illustration of Granny's medical ethics in action. The salesman has been dismissed by Dr. Clyburn with the weary impatience of a busy physician who has no time for another detail man. Granny hears the rejection, recognizes a man in distress, and immediately offers the only form of help she knows. "You poor man, I heard what he said to you, but all doctors are not like him. What is it you wanted to show him? I have an advanced tetracycline combiotic. Lord love you, but I got something that'll ease your pain." The translation of a sales call into a medical emergency is pure Granny. Suffering is suffering whether it originates in a virus or in professional humiliation, and the healer's duty is to respond. The physical comedy of the salesman's transfer from one office to the other is staged with the exuberant energy that Max Baer Jr. and Donna Douglas brought to every chase sequence. Jethro's "Catch him lunchbox, there's no time to lose" becomes the rallying cry of an impromptu medical rescue. The salesman's case of samples is seized as evidence of his need. Dr. Clyburn's outraged discovery that that little broomstick jockey is practicing medicine sets up the final confrontation of the sequence. The stage is now fully prepared for the revelations of the following part: the salesman's conversion into the West Coast distributor of Granny's cold cure, the true nature of the remedy, and the temporary truce that will allow both doctors to retreat with a measure of dignity intact. Throughout the entire arc, the series maintains its delicate balance between laughter and respect. Granny's invasion of Dr. Clyburn's office is ridiculous by any standard of modern professional conduct. Her decision to open an unlicensed practice in the penthouse of a bank building is legally untenable. Her method of acquiring patients would be considered kidnapping in any jurisdiction. Yet none of these facts is allowed to diminish the essential seriousness with which she approaches the art of healing. Irene Ryan's performance ensures that the audience never loses sight of the woman beneath the comedy, a woman who has spent a lifetime relieving suffering with the tools available to her and who will not surrender that vocation simply because the tools and the setting have changed. Buddy Ebsen's Jed remains the quiet counterweight to all this energy. He never fully endorses the war with Dr. Clyburn, yet he never abandons Granny to fight it alone. His presence in the medical building, his attempts to frame the conflict as a lesson in professional humility, his eventual acceptance that the friendship lesson is over, all of these moments reinforce the series' deepest conviction that family loyalty is the one value that transcends every comic absurdity. The Clamperts will follow Granny into the heart of the medical establishment, will help her establish her rival office, and will stand beside her when the inevitable confrontation arrives. They do so not because they share her absolute confidence in the cold cure, but because she is theirs, and the bond of family is stronger than the bond of any professional guild. In the end, the opening of Granny's office in town is both a comic escalation and a thematic necessity. The collision between mountain wisdom and city credentials could not remain a matter of private conversation forever. It had to become public, institutional, and spatial. By claiming a suite in the same building that houses Dr. Clyburn's practice, Granny forces the two systems of knowledge into direct and unavoidable proximity. The empty waiting room, the frustrated healer, the eventual raid on the competing practice, all of these elements prepare the ground for the revelations that will follow. Yet even in the midst of the chaos, the series never loses its essential warmth. The war between Dr. Granny and Dr. Clyburn is fought with absolute conviction on both sides, but it is fought inside a narrative that continues to believe in the possibility of understanding, of laughter, and of the stubborn human desire to ease one another's pain by whatever means come to hand. The pharmaceutical salesman from Henkel Pharmaceuticals enters Granny's improvised office in a state of professional desperation that the mountain healer immediately recognizes as a form of suffering. He has been dismissed from every medical suite in the building. Dr. Clyburn has refused even to glance at his advanced tetracycline combiotic. Tomorrow will be too late. He must fly back to San Francisco with nothing to show for days of effort. Granny's response is instantaneous and absolute. "You poor man, I heard what he said to you, but all doctors are not like him." In her moral universe, a man who has been rejected by the medical establishment is as much in need of care as any patient with a fever or a cough. She does not distinguish between physical illness and professional humiliation. Both are forms of pain, and both fall within the healer's responsibility. The transfer of the salesman from Dr. Clyburn's waiting room to the penthouse suite is accomplished with the exuberant physical comedy that the series had perfected over 4 seasons. Jethro's cry of "Catch him lunchbox, there's no time to lose" becomes the signal for an impromptu medical rescue. The salesman's sample case is seized as evidence of his need. Within moments the man finds himself seated across from Dr. Granny, the recipient of a concern far more intense than any he has encountered in the legitimate medical offices downstairs. Irene Ryan plays the scene with the full force of Granny's professional sincerity. There is no wink at the audience, no suggestion that the healer is aware of any absurdity in the situation. A suffering human being has been placed in her care and she will respond with every resource at her disposal. The arrival of Dr. Clyburn and Miss Jane transforms the private consultation into a public confrontation. The city doctor has come armed with the full authority of institutional medicine and the clear intention of ending Granny's unlicensed practice by legal means. I came to see that you go to jail and all I need is for you to sign a complaint. The demand is delivered with the cold precision of a man who believes the rules of professional conduct are not merely procedural but moral. Practicing medicine without a license is a criminal offense. The presence of a patient, any patient, supplies the necessary evidence. Miss Jane's earlier warnings have been vindicated. The moment of legal reckoning has arrived. What follows is one of the most elegant reversals in the entire composite narrative. The salesman, far from signing any complaint, delivers a declaration that leaves both the city doctor and the banker's secretary momentarily speechless. "Oh, I have no complaint. I've just been made West Coast distributor for the first cold cure in medical history." The line is spoken with the genuine enthusiasm of a man who has stumbled into the professional opportunity of a lifetime. In the space of a single consultation, he has been transformed from a rejected detail man into the exclusive regional representative of a remedy that has, according to its creator, never failed in 45 years. The comic logic is perfect. Granny's willingness to listen when every other doctor refused has produced an immediate and tangible reward. Dr. Clyburn's reaction moves rapidly from disbelief to alarm. "You being brain, there is no cure for the common cold." The salesman is unmoved. "Granny's got one." When the doctor continues to protest, the salesman offers the ultimate guarantee of rural sincerity. "A hand on the book, it ain't failed in 45 years. The gesture is both comic and oddly solemn. In the world of the Clampards, an oath sworn on a book still carries weight. The fact that the book in question is never identified Bible medical text or Razorback Hog Breeders Gazette only deepens the humor. What matters is the absolute conviction with which the claim is made. The threat of publicity completes the reversal. "Wait until the papers get hold of this doctor tries to suppress cold cure." The phrase hangs in the air with the force of a potential professional catastrophe. In the media climate of the mid-1960s, a story about an established physician attempting to silence the discoverer of a genuine cold remedy would have been irresistible. Dr. Clyburn's sudden change of posture is both pragmatic and deeply human. He is willing to forget every legal and professional objection if Granny will simply abandon the competing office. "If Granny'll give up this office, I'll forget about everything that's happened up until now." The deal is accepted with the brisk efficiency of two professionals who recognize a mutually advantageous settlement when they see one. Only then does the city doctor ask the question that the entire sequence has been moving toward. He wants to know more about the cure. The request is made with a mixture of lingering skepticism and genuine curiosity. Granny's reply is delivered with the calm authority of a woman who has waited 45 years for the medical establishment to show proper interest. Positively, if you follow directions, the salesman, now fully committed to his new role as West Coast distributor, leans forward to receive the precious information. "By the way, what are the directions?" The answer is the comic and thematic climax of the entire cold cure arc. "Take 1 spoonful of cold cure, eat sensible, get lots of rest, and drink plenty of water, and in a week or 10 days your cold will be gone." The silence that follows is one of the richest in the series' history. Every element of modern medical advice for the common cold has been reassembled inside the language of a mountain remedy. The 1 spoonful supplies the necessary ritual element, the tangible dose that patients expect and that salesmen can package. The remainder of the directions simply restate the same counsel that Dr. Clyburn himself had given Mr. Drysdale earlier: sensible eating, rest and fluids. The illness will resolve in a week or 10 days, exactly as the city doctor had predicted. The realization strikes the salesman and the physician at the same moment. The first cold cure in medical history is indistinguishable from ordinary common sense. The 45 years of success are real, but they are the success of the body's own healing processes, assisted by the simplest of supportive measures. The elaborate apparatus of a named remedy, a front-page announcement in the Razorback Hog Breeders Gazette, and an exclusive regional distributorship has been constructed around the same advice that every competent physician already offers. The salesman's final line, "I think I'm gonna be sick," is both literal and metaphorical. He has invested his professional hopes in a product whose active ingredients are rest and water. The brilliance of the writing lies in its refusal to treat the revelation as a simple debunking. Granny is not exposed as a fraud. Her remedy has indeed never failed because the course of the common cold almost never fails to resolve within the stated time when the patient follows the stated directions. The cure works. It simply works for reasons that have nothing to do with any secret ingredient and everything to do with the ordinary wisdom of allowing the body to heal itself. In this light, Granny's 45-year insistence on the value of her recipe becomes less a comic delusion and more a stubborn defense of practical knowledge against the pretensions of institutional complexity. Dr. Clyburn's temporary willingness to believe in the cure followed by his rapid disillusionment mirrors the audience's own journey. For a few moments the possibility of a genuine mountain breakthrough is allowed to hang in the air. The subsequent collapse of that possibility produces laughter, but it is laughter tempered by a residual respect for the woman who has managed to package common sense so effectively that a professional salesman is prepared to stake his career on it. Irene Ryan plays the delivery of the directions with complete sincerity. There is no indication that Granny herself regards the advice as anything other than a specific and powerful medical intervention. The gap between her understanding and the salesman's sudden comprehension is the source of the comedy, yet it is also the source of the scene's unexpected tenderness. Buddy Ebsen's Jed remains present throughout the confrontation as the quiet observer who has understood the nature of the cure all along. His earlier support for Granny's claims is never withdrawn. He has never needed the remedy to contain a secret ingredient in order to respect the healer who offers it. In this, he embodies the series' deepest conviction that the value of a medical practice lies not in its mystery but in its capacity to relieve suffering and to treat the patient with dignity. Granny has done both. She has given the salesman attention when every other doctor refused him. She has offered him a role and a purpose. That the product itself is ordinary does not erase the extraordinary quality of the care that accompanied it. The resolution of the office conflict follows with the brisk efficiency of classic situation comedy. Granny will surrender the penthouse. Dr. Clyburn will abandon any legal action. The salesman will depart with exclusive distribution rights to a remedy whose primary active ingredients are already available in every kitchen and bedroom in America. The temporary truce allows both medical camps to retreat with a measure of dignity intact. City medicine has not been forced to acknowledge a superior rural alternative. Mountain medicine has not been required to surrender its claim of efficacy. The common cold remains uncured in any technical sense, yet the human desire to offer and to receive care has been affirmed on both sides of the professional divide. In the larger architecture of the composite narrative, the revelation of the true directions serves as the necessary conclusion to the cold cure arc and the perfect preparation for the new conflicts that will follow. The energy that has driven Granny's medical campaign is now free to attach itself to other projects: the arrival of Tracy Richards, the longing for a horse and buggy, the eventual acquisition of Lady Bell. Yet the thematic residue of the sequence remains. The Beverly Hillbillies has once again staged a collision between formal expertise and practical wisdom and has once again refused to declare either side the permanent victor. The spoonful of cold cure, the sensible meal, the long rest and the glass of water stand as a quiet reminder that some of the most effective forms of healing require no laboratory, no license, and no greater mystery than the willingness to care for another human being with patience and common sense. The scene's enduring charm lies in its generosity toward every participant. The salesman is never mocked for his enthusiasm. Dr. Clyburn is never reduced to a mere comic foil. Granny is never exposed as a deliberate deceiver. Each character is allowed to pursue a legitimate goal: professional success, institutional order. The relief of suffering and the comedy arises from the tangled intersection of those goals rather than from the diminution of any one of them. In an era when American television was increasingly drawn to cynicism and to the exposure of fraud, the Beverly Hillbillies continued to insist that human beings are more often mistaken than malicious, and that even a remedy composed of rest and water can become the vehicle for genuine connection and care. As the salesman contemplates his new distributorship and Dr. Cliburn contemplates the narrowness of his escape from professional embarrassment, the Clampett family prepares to leave the medical building and return to the mansion. The cold cure campaign is over. The office is surrendered. The bond among physicians so earnestly invoked at the beginning of the conflict has survived in the only form the series ever fully endorses: the continued willingness of flawed and comic human beings to keep attempting in their different ways to ease one another's pain. One spoonful was all it took. The rest was wisdom that both the mountain and the city had known all along. The transition is abrupt, as the best comic transitions often are. One moment the Clampett family is concluding the elaborate medical campaign that has occupied the Commerce Bank building. The next, a woman of extraordinary wealth and even more extraordinary will is standing in the living room of the mansion declaring that she intends to buy it. "I love this house, darling. It's perfect for small impromptu parties. I'm gonna buy it." The speaker is Tracy Richards, introduced by her secretary with the understated precision of someone accustomed to announcing power. She, as the narrative quickly establishes, not merely one of the richest women in the world but the richest. Shipping, hotels, steel, lumber, paper, electronics, every major industry carries the Richards name. In the social and financial hierarchy of 1960s America, she occupies a summit so elevated that ordinary rules of negotiation, patience, and even politeness no longer appear to apply. The entrance is staged with the visual and verbal confidence of a character who has never been denied anything she has decided to possess. Tracy moves through the mansion as though the sale has already been completed and only the interior redesign remains to be settled. "That front lawn needs something, a fountain with a statue. What's that statue by Rodin that I like so much? The Kiss." "Buy it." When informed that the piece may not be for sale, her reply is instantaneous and absolute. "Buy it." The same imperative is applied to the house itself. Walls are to come out. Drapes are declared dreadful. A decorator from Portofino Scappetta Waymo is to be flown over at once. The chandelier may stay. Everything else is subject to immediate revision. The comedy arises from the collision between this imperial certainty and the Clampetts' complete lack of interest in selling. Jed Clampett greets the invasion with the same quiet courtesy he extends to every visitor. "Well, hi folks, what can I do for you?" The question is genuine. In the moral economy of the series, a stranger at the door is first a guest, and only secondarily a potential problem. Buddy Ebsen plays the moment with the unhurried dignity that defined his performance across 9 seasons. There is no suspicion in his voice, no calculation of advantage. He simply offers the hospitality of the house, and waits to learn the nature of the call. When Tracy's secretary confirms that the owner is on the premises and that Miss Richards intends to purchase the property, Jed's response is polite, puzzled, and firmly negative. The family is not looking to sell. The subsequent negotiation is one of the purest expressions of the series' central comic premise. Tracy Richards is accustomed to a world in which every object carries a price and every price can be met. She begins with an offer that the script records in the fragmented style of rapid escalation, 10, 20, 30, and quickly reaches $40. In the ordinary real estate market of Beverly Hills, the sum is comically inadequate. In the Clampett household, it is simply another number, neither more nor less meaningful than any other. Jed's refusal is delivered without heat. "Well, ma'am, if I turn down 40 cash, I sure ain't gonna take no blank check." The line is pure mountain logic. A man who has already declined a specific sum will not be tempted by an unspecified larger one. The blank check, symbol of limitless financial power in the urban world, is dismissed as casually as a low bid at a country auction. Tracy's reaction moves rapidly from disbelief to fury. "You're deliberately being facetious." When Jed denies the charge, her indignation expands to encompass the entire category of person he represents. "No one treats me like this. No one." The claim is both comic and revealing. In her experience, the statement is true. Wealth on the scale she commands has always functioned as a solvent for resistance. Houses, artworks, services, even people have yielded to the simple application of sufficient money. The discovery that a bearded man in a plaid shirt can refuse her is experienced not as a minor social friction but as an existential affront. He actually defied me. Worse than that, I think he was laughing at me. That bumpkin. That hayseed. The language she chooses, rural Rasputin bumpkin hayseed, locates the conflict squarely inside the series' long-running exploration of class and cultural difference. Tracy Richards represents the apex of cosmopolitan financial power. Jed Clampett represents the stubborn persistence of rural values inside the most expensive real estate in America. Their confrontation is not merely a negotiation over a house, it is a collision between two complete systems of understanding what things are worth. For Tracy, value is determined by desire, and by the capacity to pay. For Jed, value is determined by use, by memory, and by the quiet attachment that grows between people and the places they live. The mansion has kind of grew on us, he explains. The understatement is characteristic and decisive. What has grown cannot be sold for any sum, blank or otherwise. The investigative efforts of Tracy's assistant only deepen the comic disparity. Calls are made. Sources are checked. The results are meager and, from the standpoint of urban power, almost insulting. Jed belongs to no clubs. He is connected with no corporations. His primary occupation, as nearly as can be determined, is whittling. He is a widower completely devoted to his family. In the currency of influence that Tracy Richards understands, he possesses nothing that can be threatened or purchased. The assistant's report is delivered with the baffled tone of a man who has searched for leverage and found only air. You might finally have found a man that you can't buy. The observation is offered as a warning. Tracy receives it as a challenge. Everyone has a price. The scene's construction rewards close attention to performance and pacing. The actress playing Tracy moves through the mansion with the restless energy of someone accustomed to command. Her decisions about decor are issued as orders rather than suggestions. Her impatience with delay is absolute. Against this kinetic force, Buddy Ebsen's Jed remains almost still. He sits. He offers a chair. He inquires whether the visitor would like to whittle. The contrast in physical tempo becomes a precise visual expression of the thematic conflict. One character experiences time as a resource to be dominated. The other experiences it as a medium in which relationships and attachments are allowed to form at their own pace. The historical context of the mid-1960s sharpens the satire. America was in the midst of an unprecedented expansion of private wealth. Fortunes built on shipping, steel, and the new electronics industries had created a class of individuals whose financial power seemed to place them beyond ordinary social constraint. At the same time, the nation retained a deep cultural attachment to the image of the independent citizen who could not be bought. The Beverly Hillbillies stages the encounter between these two forces with a lightness that never becomes cynical. Tracy Richards is not portrayed as evil. She is portrayed as a woman whose entire experience has taught her that money dissolves every obstacle. Jed Clampett is not portrayed as a saint. He is portrayed as a man whose experience has taught him that some things are not obstacles to be dissolved but attachments to be honored. The comedy arises from the absolute inability of either character to inhabit the other's assumptions. The family's peripheral reactions supply additional layers of humor and character. Granny's initial interest in the visitor is filtered through her perennial concern with practical matters, food, health, the management of the household. Ellie Mae's presence is marked by the same animal-loving distraction that defines her throughout the series. Jethro's later entanglement with the Richards automobile will expand the comic possibilities, but in this opening movement he remains largely an observer. The collective Clampett response is one of polite bafflement rather than active resistance. They do not yet understand that they are dealing with a force of nature. They simply know that they are not selling the house. As the confrontation reaches its first climax, Tracy Richards is forced to confront a reality that her wealth has previously been able to obscure: the existence of a human being whose sense of value is not calibrated to the market. The mansion is not a commodity awaiting the highest bidder, it is a home that has acquired meaning through daily use and family memory. Jed's refusal is not a negotiating position. It is a statement of identity. In the moral universe of the series, that statement carries more weight than any blank check ever written. The richest woman in the world has met a man who cannot be purchased, and the discovery leaves her furious, baffled, and though she would never admit it, obscurely intrigued. The sequence ends with the promise of further escalation. Tracy Richards is not a character who accepts defeat. The investigation into Jed's vulnerabilities will continue. New strategies will be devised. The house will remain the object of a desire that has become for her indistinguishable from a principle. Yet the essential comic premise has been established with classical clarity. In the living room of the Clampett mansion, the irresistible force of unlimited wealth has encountered the immovable object of rural attachment, and the resulting collision has produced the pure affectionate laughter that remains the series' greatest gift. The richest woman in the world has come calling. The family has offered her a chair and declined her check. In the world of the Beverly Hillbillies, that is only the beginning of the story. The campaign to acquire the Clampett mansion enters a new and more insidious phase the moment Tracy Richards discovers that direct purchase has failed. Money offered as a straightforward transaction has been declined. The blank check symbol of limitless financial power has been dismissed with the same casual firmness that a mountain auctioneer might dismiss a low opening bid. What remains is the older and subtler currency of gifts, objects chosen to create obligation to awaken desire, and to make the eventual surrender of the house feel like a natural and even grateful exchange. The first of these offerings appears in the form of a coat, a soft and expensive hide that Granny examines with the practical curiosity of a woman who has spent a lifetime assessing the quality of animal skins. "What kind of hide is it?" she asks. The answer comes from a critter called a Bergdorf, produces one of the purest comic detonations in the entire composite narrative. The celebrated department store is transformed in a single mountain mispronunciation into an exotic animal whose pelt has somehow found its way to Beverly Hills. Irene Ryan delivers the line with complete sincerity. The laughter it generates is sharpened by the absolute absence of any intention to mock. The coat is only the beginning. A luxurious automobile is placed at the disposal of Jethro, who responds with the rapturous enthusiasm that Max Baer Jr. brought to every new mechanical toy. "I am plumb out of my skull about her," he declares, the pronoun hovering ambiguously between the car and its donor. In Jethro's uncomplicated emotional economy, the woman who provides such a vehicle and the vehicle itself tend to merge into a single object of devotion. He begins to speak of marriage with the same breathless certainty he once brought to plans for a cement pond or a career in the movies. The gift has done its work. It has created a sense of personal attachment that Tracy Richards can later attempt to convert into leverage over the house. The invitation to the Richards Hotel extends the strategy from objects to experiences. The family is transported into a world of effortless abundance, food wheeled in and wheeled out, no dishes to wash, servants who anticipate every need, a terrace view that reminds them of the mountains they left behind. Jethro consumes 14 helpings without apology or restraint. Granny and Ellie Mae discover the unfamiliar pleasure of being waited upon rather than waiting upon others. For a few hours, the labor that has always defined their days is suspended, and the suspension is intoxicating. "Sure beats working your fingers to the bone in this old rock pile," one of them observes. The line is spoken without bitterness, yet it carries the first faint suggestion that the mansion, for all its grandeur, remains a place of work. The hotel offers an alternative vision, life as pure consumption unsupported by any visible effort. Jed Clampett watches the seduction with the quiet attentiveness that Buddy Ebsen made the moral center of the series. He does not forbid the gifts. He does not order the family to refuse the hotel invitation. He simply continues to measure every new offering against the internal standard that has guided him since the first day the family arrived in Beverly Hills. When the others begin to speak of the advantages of selling, "We could live like kings and queens in that hotel of hers," his response is immediate and absolute. The house is not for sale. The gifts must be returned. The woman who offers them is not a benefactor but a strategist whose kindness is instrumental. "Can't you see she's just using you to get what she wants?" The question is directed at the entire family, yet it lands with particular force on Jethro, whose romantic fantasies have already outrun any capacity for strategic thought. The attempt to return the gifts produces some of the sequence's most sustained physical comedy. The family determines that the objects must be restored to their donor in clean condition. Granny's life soap is applied with the same vigorous thoroughness she once brought to the laundry of the Ozarks. The results are catastrophic in precisely the ways the audience has learned to expect. The feathered shawl loses its stripes. The spotted bird door, almost certainly a leopard print or similar exotic hide, is threatened with the same fate and is therefore spared. The washed gifts are loaded into the car and carried back to the Richards Plaza with the solemn determination of a diplomatic delegation returning contested territory. The gesture is both practical and symbolic. In the Clampett moral code, a gift that carries an unspoken price is not a gift at all. It is a debt. And debts are to be discharged as quickly and completely as possible. The confrontation that follows in Tracy Richards's penthouse is a masterclass in colliding value systems. Jed arrives prepared to speak his piece and leave. Tracy receives him with the practiced warmth of a woman who has converted many previous refusals into eventual surrenders. She remarks on the flash of blue fire in his eyes when he is angry. She suggests that they become friends. She allows the physical proximity of seduction to replace the failed tactics of direct purchase and elaborate gifting. Jed's response is the purest expression of his character. He is not immune to beauty or to charm. He is simply unwilling to permit either to alter the fundamental terms of the exchange. The gifts are coming back. The house is not for sale. Friendship, if it is to exist, must exist without residual obligation. Jethro's sudden appearance converts the private negotiation into a farce of romantic misunderstanding. Having declared himself plumb out of my skull about Miss Richards, he now interprets Jed's presence as a paternal attempt to steal his woman. The accusation is delivered with the full force of adolescent outrage. "Uncle Jed, you're stealing my woman." Tracy's swift denial, "I'm not your woman," only intensifies the confusion. In the space of a few lines, the scene accumulates layers of crossed purpose that the series had spent years refining: the millionaire's calculated hospitality, the mountain patriarch's ethical firmness, the nephew's romantic delusion, and the underlying transactional pressure that none of the participants can fully escape. Max Baer Jr. plays Jethro's jealousy with a physical expansiveness that never quite tips into caricature. The character remains touchingly sincere, even at his most ridiculous. Mr. Drysdale's intervention adds the final comic complication. Sensing an opportunity to capture the Richards account for the Commerce Bank, he appears in the penthouse with a prepared financial analysis and a willingness to use his influence over the Clampetts as a bargaining chip. Tracy's response is the unceremonious ejection of a man who has interrupted a more promising line of attack. The banker is ordered into a closet, threatened with the destruction of his institution, and finally dismissed with the suggestion that he consider the 30-floor drop from the terrace. The sequence is pure farce, yet it serves a precise thematic function. Every major force in the Beverly Hills universe, unlimited private wealth, institutional banking, romantic fantasy, and mountain integrity, has now been brought into the same room and forced to declare its terms. Only Jed's terms remain unchanged. The resolution of the gift campaign is as firm as its beginning. The washed and somewhat damaged offerings are returned. The romantic claims are rejected. The house is once again declared not for sale. Tracy Richards is left with the unprecedented experience of having deployed every conventional instrument of acquisition: cash, blank checks, luxury objects, personal charm, even the implied threat of social and financial pressure, and having been met with a refusal that does not even rise to the level of negotiation. In the moral universe of the Beverly Hillbillies, that refusal is not an act of stubbornness, it is an act of identity. The mansion is not a commodity. It is the place where the family has continued to practice the values they carried from the mountains. To sell it would be to concede that those values are negotiable. Jed Clampett will not make that concession. The sequence's deeper resonance lies in its quiet critique of a culture increasingly organized around the convertibility of every human attachment into a market transaction. Tracy Richards is not portrayed as a villain. She is portrayed as the logical endpoint of a system that has taught her from birth that desire plus sufficient resources equals possession. The comedy arises from the discovery that the equation is not universal. There exist forms of attachment that resist conversion. And there exist human beings for whom the resistance is not a negotiating posture but a permanent condition of character. Buddy Ebsen's performance ensures that Jed's firmness never hardens into self-righteousness. He remains courteous, even kind. He simply will not sell. In the landscape of 1960s television, that combination of gentleness and immovability remains one of the series' most distinctive and enduring achievements. As the family gathers the returned gifts and prepares to leave the Richards Plaza, the larger narrative is already shifting toward new comic territories: the disastrous driving lessons, the longing for a horse and buggy, the eventual arrival of Lady Belle. Yet the thematic residue of the gift campaign lingers. The richest woman in the world has offered everything the market can supply. The Clamperts have answered with the one thing the market cannot price: the quiet decision to remain who they are. In the end, the Bergdorf hide is returned, the blank check is uncashed, and the mansion continues to stand as the unbought and unbuyable center of a family that has never learned to confuse value with price. The automobile has never been a comfortable presence in Granny Clampert's world. From the first days of the family's arrival in Beverly Hills, the internal combustion engine has represented everything that the mountain sensibility finds alien. Speed without purpose, noise without necessity, and a form of motion that severs the traveler from the natural rhythms of the land. The composite narrative now turns its full attention to this long-simmering conflict, and the result is a sequence of physical comedy and character revelation that ranks among the series' purest expressions of culture clash. The catalyst is a telephone call from Miss Jane Hathaway inquiring after Jethro. The answer she receives is delivered with the casual fatalism that the family has learned to adopt whenever Granny and modern machinery occupy the same space. He's out giving Granny another driving lesson. The word another carries the full weight of previous disasters. This is not an experiment. It is a continuing campaign, and the campaign is not going well. The crash itself is announced with the abruptness of lived catastrophe. Jethro's voice comes over the line in sudden panic: "Pa, I think you better come quick." Granny's headed up the front lawn. The family arrives to find the truck embedded in a tree on the Drysdale property, Granny unhurt but seething, and Jethro already composing his resignation from the role of instructor. "And you call yourself a driving teacher?" "Not no more. I'm through. I done give my last driving lessons." Max Baer Jr. plays the moment with the expansive physicality that made Jethro one of television's most memorable comic creations. His frustration is genuine, his fear for his own safety is not exaggerated. Granny, for her part, accepts no responsibility. The accident was Jed's fault for telling her to turn around. She was merely following instructions when the one-way street and the oncoming traffic combined to produce the tree. The exchange that follows is a master class in the series' ability to extract profound character truth from apparent nonsense. Granny's defense of her conduct is absolute. "You told me to turn around, so I turned around. That's when we walked into the tree." The logic is mountain logic in its purest form. An instruction has been given, the instruction has been obeyed, the consequences are therefore the responsibility of the instructor. The fact that the instruction was issued in the middle of a one-way street filled with approaching automobiles is to her mind a detail that Jethro should have anticipated. Irene Ryan delivers the argument with the same fierce conviction she once brought to the defense of her cold cure. There is no irony in her voice, no awareness that the position is untenable by any urban standard. She is simply stating the facts as she understands them. Jed's attempt to mediate is characteristically gentle and completely ineffective. He cannot deny that the instruction was given. He cannot deny that the result was a collision. He can only absorb the mutual recriminations and begin the practical work of extracting the truck from the Drysdale lawn and restoring the damaged tree. Buddy Ebsen plays these moments with the quiet patience that defined his performance across the entire run of the series. Jed has long since accepted that progress with Granny and the automobile will be measured in fractions of an inch if it is achieved at all. His primary concern is the preservation of family harmony and the prevention of further damage to the neighbor's property. The deeper thematic current of the sequence emerges when Granny declares her permanent retirement from automotive life. "I'm through risking my life with them contraptions. Too many people on the street driving around that have no business." The observation is both comic and unexpectedly acute. In the mid-1960s, American roads were filling with drivers of widely varying skill, the post-war boom in car ownership having outpaced any corresponding boom in driver education. Traffic fatalities were a growing public concern. Smog had begun to settle over the Los Angeles basin with a frequency that alarmed physicians and urban planners alike. Granny's complaint, filtered through the language of mountain common sense, anticipates critiques that would become mainstream only years later. She has looked at the modern traffic system and found it wanting by the simplest of standards. It is dangerous, it is crowded, and it places machines in the hands of people who have not mastered them. The alternative she proposes is as old as human transportation itself. By Danny's That's What I Need, a high-stepping trotter in a shiny buggy, the vision is instantaneous and complete. Yellow wheels, black leather seats, a red fringe on the top. The automobile, with its noise and its one-way streets and its capacity for sudden violence, is to be replaced by a form of motion that restores the traveler to a proper relationship with animal intelligence and open air. 2 heads is always better than 1, especially when one belongs to a horse. The line is pure Jed in its construction, yet it is Granny who seizes upon its implications. A horse possesses judgment. A horse will not obey a suicidal instruction simply because a human voice has issued it. A horse, in short, supplies the common sense that the modern driver so conspicuously lacks. The historical resonance of this longing is worth lingering over. The 1960s marked the high tide of American automobile culture. The interstate highway system was expanding. Car ownership had become a central marker of middle-class identity. The idea that a horse and buggy might represent a superior form of urban transportation was by any contemporary standard absurd, yet the series allows the absurdity to stand without ridicule. Granny's preference is presented as the natural expression of a sensibility formed in a world where animals were partners rather than cargo, and where speed was measured by the endurance of living creatures rather than by the calibration of engines. The comedy arises from the incongruity of that sensibility operating inside Beverly Hills. The respect arises from the series' consistent refusal to treat the older way of life as merely quaint. Jethro's final abdication of instructional responsibility seals the automotive chapter. He has survived multiple lessons. He has watched Granny improve only in the intensity of her disasters. He has reached the rational conclusion that further attempts will endanger both their lives. The decision is delivered with the same large-scale physical emphasis that characterizes all of his major choices. He is finished. The truck may be repaired. The tree may be replanted. The driving lessons will not resume. In the moral economy of the family, the declaration is accepted without prolonged argument. Granny has made her position clear. Jethro has made his. Jed will manage the practical consequences. The sequence's construction demonstrates once again the series' mastery of escalating physical stakes. The telephone warning, the discovery of the truck in the tree, the mutual accusations, the declaration of retirement, and the sudden flowering of the horse and buggy vision. Each stage is given its full comic weight without any sense of rush. The writers trust the characters to generate the necessary momentum. Granny's fury at the automobile is not a sudden invention for the sake of a single episode. It is the logical culmination of years of uneasy coexistence between mountain temperament and machine culture. The crash on the Drysdale lawn simply makes the incompatibility impossible to ignore any longer. As the family turns its attention from the wrecked truck to the possibility of a high-stepping trotter, the larger narrative begins its graceful pivot toward the final major arc of the composite script. The longing for a horse will soon intersect with Mr. Drysdale's presence at Hollywood Park, with the banker's ever-active calculation of financial advantage, and with the eventual arrival of Lady Belle. Yet, the emotional and thematic foundation of that later comedy is laid here. In the aftermath of a collision with a tree and a one-way street, Granny has looked at the modern world of automobiles and found it wanting. She has imagined a better alternative. The series, with its characteristic generosity, will allow her to pursue that alternative to its extravagant and hilarious conclusion. In the end, the war with the automobile is not a war Granny can win in any practical sense. The streets of Beverly Hills will remain filled with cars. The one-way signs will continue to enforce their abstract logic. The internal combustion engine will not be legislated out of existence by the preferences of a single mountain healer. What she can do and what the series celebrates is refuse to surrender her own standards of sense and safety. She can declare the entire system foolish. She can withdraw her participation. She can set her heart on a form of transportation that restores the human traveler to partnership with an intelligent animal. In the landscape of 1960s television, that refusal remains a quiet and enduring act of independence. The truck may be extracted from the tree. The driving lessons may be permanently cancelled. The high-stepping trotter is already alive in Granny's imagination, yellow wheels shining, red fringe fluttering, carrying her through the streets of Beverly Hills at a pace that finally makes sense. The vision arrives fully formed, as the best mountain dreams always do. In the aftermath of the automotive disaster, with the truck still bearing the marks of its encounter with the Drysdale tree and Jethro permanently retired from instructional duty, Granny Clampett turns her imagination toward a form of transportation that restores every principle the automobile has violated. By Danny's, that's what I need, a high-stepping trotter in a shiny buggy. The sentence is spoken with the absolute certainty of a woman who has already seen the completed picture in her mind. Yellow wheels, black leather seats, a red fringe on the top. The horse itself must possess a long silky mane and lots of spirits of real pranksters. It must be an animal of character, capable of partnership rather than mere obedience. Irene Ryan delivers the catalogue of requirements with the same fierce precision she once brought to the recipe for cold cure. This is not a casual preference. It is a complete alternative system of motion, dignity and sense. The surrounding conversation supplies the practical pathway by which the dream will enter the world of concrete action. Miss Jane's earlier telephone call has mentioned that the Drysdales are spending the day at Hollywood Park looking at trotters. In Granny's hearing, the information undergoes an immediate and characteristic transformation. Hollywood Park becomes the natural location for a barbecue and a horse auction. Society Day is reinterpreted as an occasion when fine animals change hands among people of discernment. The leap is pure Clampett logic. If the neighbors are examining trotters, then trotters must be available for acquisition, and if they are available, then the family has every reason to acquire one. Jed's cautious reminder that the event is a society gathering rather than a public sale is noted and then gently set aside. The dream has already acquired too much momentum to be halted by mere social distinctions. The image of the buggy itself becomes a sustained object of contemplation. Granny describes it with the loving specificity of a woman who has spent decades assessing the quality of practical equipment. The yellow wheels will catch the California sun. The black leather seats will offer a dignity that no automobile bench can match. The red fringe will flutter with a cheerful independence that chrome and steel have never achieved. In the streets of Beverly Hills, where every other vehicle announces its owner's wealth through horsepower and polished metal, the Clampett buggy will announce something older and, in Granny's view, more honorable: the partnership between human intention and animal intelligence. Two heads is always better than one, especially when one belongs to a horse. The line, originally Jed's, is now fully appropriated into Granny's philosophy of transportation. A horse will not obey a suicidal instruction simply because a human voice has issued it. A horse possesses judgment. In the chaotic traffic of the modern city, that judgment is the one quality no machine can supply. The historical context of this longing deepens its resonance. By the middle of the 1960s, the horse had been almost entirely displaced from American urban life. The last working animals had vanished from city streets decades earlier. The automobile had become not merely a convenience but a central symbol of progress, freedom, and national identity. To propose a return to the horse and buggy was by any contemporary measure an act of deliberate anachronism. Yet the Beverly Hillbillies never treats Granny's preference as mere nostalgia. It is presented as a rational response to the visible failures of the automotive system, the accidents, the congestion, the smog, the one-way streets that convert ordinary travel into a sequence of abstract and dangerous commands. The series allows the audience to laugh at the incongruity of a mountain healer planning to navigate Beverly Hills behind a high-stepping trotter while simultaneously recognizing the justice of her critique. At Hollywood Park, the dream intersects with the perpetual calculations of Milburn Drysdale. Miss Jane's presence at the track on bank time has already drawn the banker's displeasure. The explanation she offers that the nature of the Clampett call justified the excursion receives the reception such explanations always receive from a man whose primary concern is the uninterrupted flow of profit. Yet the information that the Clampetts are considering the purchase of a trotting horse produces an immediate and characteristic shift in Drysdale's thinking. What begins as irritation is rapidly converted into opportunity. A racehorse is a capital investment. It is subject to depreciation and to the favorable tax treatments that the bank's experts have already analyzed. It appeals to the family's well-documented love of animals and may therefore satisfy their residual longing for rural life without requiring an actual return to the mountains. And there remains the intoxicating possibility that the animal might win substantial sums of money, all of which would flow into the Commerce Bank. The conversion of Drysdale's resistance into enthusiasm is one of the sequence's purest illustrations of the banker's permanent inner conflict. Raymond Bailey plays the transition with the precision of a man who has spent years allowing self-interest to reframe every obstacle as an advantage. The same horse that a moment earlier represented a reckless expenditure of Clampett capital is now reimagined as a financial instrument of elegant sophistication. Miss Jane's careful presentation of the tax benefits and the psychological advantages is accepted with the rapidity of a man who has been waiting for permission to approve the very idea he has just condemned. Terrific, oh by George, this is one of the best ideas I've ever had. The claim to authorship is instantaneous and absolute. In the moral economy of the Commerce Bank, every successful idea ultimately belongs to the man who controls the accounts. The decision to purchase the most beautiful horse we can find follows with the brisk efficiency of a commercial campaign. Drysdale will not wait for the Clampetts to select the animal themselves. Hesitation might allow second thoughts. The horse must be presented that very afternoon so that the family can fall in love with it before any competing consideration can arise. Arrangements for boarding will be made. The banker's own earlier anger at Miss Jane's presence at the track is quietly withdrawn and replaced by a small reward she need not dock herself for the time. The entire sequence is a miniature portrait of institutional power adapting itself with remarkable flexibility to the unpredictable desires of its most important depositors. Meanwhile, in the Clampett mansion, the dream continues to gather detail and emotional force. Granny's description of the ideal animal becomes more specific with each retelling. The long silky mane is non-negotiable. The spirit must be high enough to provide genuine partnership yet not so wild as to endanger the driver. The buggy must be light enough for elegance yet sturdy enough for the practical work of carrying groceries home from the market. The vision is simultaneously romantic and utilitarian, a combination that defines Granny's approach to almost every aspect of life. She does not want a showpiece. She wants a working companion that will also happen to be beautiful. Jed's role in these conversations is characteristically measured. He does not oppose the idea. He does not fully endorse it. He simply listens, offers the occasional practical caution, and begins the quiet work of preparing for whatever consequences the dream may produce. Buddy Ebsen allows Jed's face to register both affection for Granny's enthusiasm and a clear-eyed awareness that the acquisition of a high-stepping trotter will not be a simple or inexpensive matter. The family's history with Mr. Drysdale has taught him that every desire the Clampetts express is rapidly converted into a financial transaction whose true costs are rarely visible at the moment of purchase. Yet he will not deny Granny the pursuit of a form of transportation that finally makes sense to her. The automobile has been tried and found wanting. The horse remains. The sequence's comic construction depends upon the parallel development of two incompatible understandings of the same event. At Hollywood Park, Drysdale and Miss Jane are constructing a sophisticated investment strategy around the tax advantages and psychological benefits of racehorse ownership. In the Clampett living room, Granny is constructing a practical vision of yellow wheels and red fringe that will allow her to move through Beverly Hills at a pace and in a style consistent with mountain dignity. The two visions will meet when the horse itself arrives, and the collision will generate the next full movement of the narrative. For the present, the series allows both dreams to develop in their separate spheres, each complete and internally consistent, each unaware of the comic discrepancies that will soon become impossible to ignore. In the end, the longing for a high-stepping trotter is more than a plot device. It is the purest expression of Granny's ongoing refusal to surrender the standards of sense and beauty she brought from the mountains. The automobile has failed those standards. The horse, she is certain, will not. The shiny buggy with yellow wheels and red fringe already exists in the one place that has always mattered most in the Clampett universe. The uncompromising imagination of a woman who has never learned to accept that the modern world is the only possible world. As the family prepares for the animal's arrival and Mr. Drysdale prepares to claim authorship of the entire idea, the stage is set for a confrontation between rural dream and urban calculation that only the Beverly Hillbillies could convert into pure and lasting delight. The trailer doors open upon a vision of equine perfection that the Clampett family is entirely unprepared to receive. "Howdy, what you got in there?" Jethro inquires of the handlers. The answer is delivered with the dry professional pride of men who transport champions for a living, $30,000 worth of hot flesh. The sum hangs in the California air with the force of a small fortune. In the mid-1960s, $30,000 represented a substantial house in many American communities, a year's income several times over for an ordinary family, and a sum that even the Clampetts, for all their oil wealth, still registered as serious money. Jethro's immediate response is pure Bodine pragmatism. "Hot dog we's gonna eat tonight." The line detonates the first full wave of laughter. In the mountain economy of his upbringing, an animal of that size and apparent health would indeed have represented a memorable feast. That the animal has been purchased for an entirely different purpose has not yet penetrated. The horse herself steps into the light with the composed elegance of a creature born to competition. Lady Belle is introduced as one of the finest trotters in the country, a big money winner at Hollywood Park, an animal whose bloodlines and training represent the absolute pinnacle of the harness racing world. The Clampetts circle her with the mixture of awe and practical assessment that they bring to every new living creature. Ellie Mae, whose gift with animals has been established across 4 seasons, approaches without hesitation. "Hi girl, careful now, she's skittish." The handler's warning is unnecessary. Within moments, the mare has accepted the girl's touch with a readiness that astonishes the professional. "I've never seen Lady Belle take to anyone like she has to you." Donna Douglas plays the encounter with the quiet radiance that made Ellie Mae one of television's most beloved characters. The bond is instantaneous and mutual. In the Clampett moral universe, that bond already carries more weight than the $30,000 of purchase price. Granny's reaction follows a different and equally characteristic path. She interprets the arrival as a deliberate surprise engineered by Jed for her sole benefit. "Jed, you sweet old rascal, you wanted to surprise me." Buddy Ebsen's protests are gentle, repeated, and completely ineffective. "No, Granny, I didn't." The denial only intensifies her conviction. She has longed for a high-stepping trotter. A high-stepping trotter has appeared. Therefore, Jed has arranged the gift. The logic is closed and unbreakable. She rewards him with a series of energetic kisses that leave the patriarch both touched and mildly embarrassed. "Sure, I'm getting a lot of kissing that ain't rightfully mine." The moment is pure Irene Ryan fierce affection wrapped in absolute certainty. In her mind, the horse is already hers, the culmination of the dream first articulated in the aftermath of the automotive disaster. The arrival of Doc Pritchard, Lady Belle's handler, introduces the first notes of professional reality into the domestic celebration. Papers must be signed. Arrangements for boarding and equipment must be confirmed. The handler speaks with the measured respect of a man who has spent his working life in the company of expensive animals and the wealthy people who own them. Yet, even his professionalism is tested by the Clampetts' approach to the newly acquired champion. When the sulky is unloaded, the light, fragile, purpose-built racing cart that is the only vehicle Lady Belle has been trained to pull, the family's reaction is one of collective bafflement. "This thing must weigh a ton. Take a plow horse to pull it." The observation is delivered with the practical authority of people who have judged the weight and utility of farm equipment for generations. That the sulky is in fact designed to be as light as possible is a distinction that has not yet made itself clear. Jed's examination of the rig produces some of the sequence's most sustained verbal comedy. He searches in vain for a proper place to attach reins in the manner he understands. He notes the absence of any seating that would accommodate a family. He considers the rubber tires and the low-slung design with the polite skepticism of a man who has been shown a tool whose purpose remains obscure. You know what I'd do if this thing was mine, I'd let the horse ride in it. The line is pure Jed gentle, imaginative and utterly serious in its attempt to make sense of the unfamiliar. Buddy Ebsen delivers it with the same unhurried consideration he once brought to the blank check offered by Tracy Richards. The sulky is not rejected. It is simply found wanting by the standards of mountain utility. Granny's response to the incomplete buggy is more direct. She has been promised a vehicle suitable for driving around Beverly Hills in style. What has arrived is a skeletal racing device that offers no place for groceries, no protection from the weather and no seat for a passenger. The disappointment is real, yet it is rapidly subordinated to the greater satisfaction of the horse herself. Lady Belle is everything the dream required: beautiful, spirited, and already responsive to the family's touch. The missing half of the buggy can be addressed later. For the present, the animal is enough. The decision to ride her follows with the inevitability of Granny's character. She has never required a saddle, she has never needed a leg up. I've never needed any help to get on a horse, just give me a little running room. I'm just as spry as I ever was. The claim is issued as fact rather than boast. Irene Ryan allows Granny to approach the mare with the absolute confidence of a woman who has been mounting horses since childhood. The professional handler's alarm is immediate and well-founded. Lady Belle is a $30,000 champion trotter trained exclusively for harness work. She is not a saddle horse. She has never been ridden bareback by an elderly mountain woman in the front yard of a Beverly Hills mansion. The distinction is lost on Granny. A horse is a horse. She has ridden hundreds. She will ride this one. The disappearance that follows is managed with the series' characteristic precision of escalating stakes. Granny and Lady Belle vanish down the street. Half an hour passes. The handler's professional composure begins to crack. Bareback a $30,000 trotter. The sum is repeated like an incantation of dread. Jed's attempts at reassurance: Granny sets a horse like most folks set a rocker, only partially succeed. The family knows Granny's competence with animals. They also know that competence has never prevented spectacular public complications. When the pair finally returns, the mare trotting with the steady, unbreakable rhythm of her training and Granny perched atop her with the satisfied expression of a woman who has just confirmed an old skill, the relief is tempered by the clear recognition that the afternoon's adventures are only beginning. The sequence's deeper comedy lies in the perfect mismatch between the animal's specialized identity and the family's comprehensive ignorance of that specialization. Lady Belle is not a general-purpose horse. She is the product of generations of selective breeding and years of precise training aimed at a single task: pulling a sulky at speed around a regulation track. The Clampetts receive her as they have received every previous animal, as a potential partner in the ordinary work and pleasure of daily life. They offer carrots and sugar. They consider her teeth. They evaluate her capacity to pull a loaded buggy to market. They mount her bareback and take her for a neighborhood tour. Each of these actions is, from the standpoint of the harness racing world, a mild form of sacrilege. From the standpoint of the Clampett world, each is simple common sense. Mr. Drysdale's role in the acquisition remains for the moment off stage, yet fully present. The $30,000 has been spent on his authority, and for reasons that have everything to do with tax depreciation, capital gains, and the strategic retention of Clampett deposits. The family does not yet know the true price. They do not yet understand that the horse has been selected not for her suitability to mountain notions of utility, but for her potential to generate racing income and favorable accounting treatments. The gap between the banker's intentions and the family's reception of the gift will widen in the scenes that follow, producing the next full movement of comic complication. For the present, the series allows the pure delight of the arrival to stand unchallenged. A beautiful horse has entered the Clampett orbit. Ellie Mae has found a new friend. Granny has recovered a lost form of freedom. Jed has absorbed another expensive and inexplicable addition to the household with the same quiet grace he has brought to every previous surprise. In the golden light of the Beverly Hills afternoon, Lady Belle stands as the living embodiment of a dream that began with a crashed truck and a one-way street. The shiny buggy with yellow wheels has not yet materialized in any usable form. The red fringe remains a vision rather than a reality, yet the high-stepping trotter herself is here spirited beautiful, and already half claimed by the affections of a family that has never required an animal to justify its presence with anything more complicated than readiness for friendship. $30,000 of hot flesh has come to the mansion. In the moral universe of the Beverly Hillbillies, the money is the least important fact about her. The half hour of Granny's absence stretches across the Clampett front yard like a held breath. Doc Pritchard, the professional handler who has delivered $30,000 of carefully trained horseflesh into the hands of the most unconventional owners in Beverly Hills, paces with the contained dread of a man watching a masterpiece being used as a stepladder. Bareback a $30,000 trotter, he repeats the sum functioning less as a price than as a measure of impending catastrophe. Jed's attempts at reassurance Granny sets a horse like most folks set a rocker are offered with the calm of long experience, yet even his composure shows hairline cracks. Lady Belle is not a saddle horse. She has never been asked to carry a rider. Her entire education has been directed toward the single precise task of pulling a racing sulky at speed. The distinction so obvious to the handler remains invisible to the family that has just claimed her. When Granny and the mare finally reappear, the relief is tempered by the unmistakable evidence of what has occurred. Lady Belle trots with the steady, disciplined rhythm of her training. Granny sits atop her with the satisfied expression of a woman who has just reconfirmed a lifelong competence. Whoa, Lady Belle, whoa, girl. The command is unnecessary. The horse has never broken her gait. Irene Ryan plays the return with the radiant self-satisfaction of a mountain rider who has found the modern world still capable of supplying a proper mount. The fact that the mount is a champion harness racer trained exclusively for the track is a technicality that has not yet been allowed to interfere with the pleasure of the ride. The arrival of the sulky itself converts residual anxiety into full comic confusion. The light, fragile, purpose-built racing cart is unloaded with the care reserved for expensive and specialized equipment. The Clampetts examine it with the practical intensity they once brought to the evaluation of plow harnesses and farm wagons. Their verdict is immediate and unanimous. Something essential is missing. Jake, what's this thing? You reckon it's Granny's buggy? Well, if it is, most of it's missing. The observation is delivered without malice. It is simply the judgment of people who understand vehicles as tools for the movement of families and groceries. The sulky, designed to be as light as physics and regulation will allow, offers no seat for a passenger, no platform for packages, and no protection from weather. In the mountain calculus of utility, it is not a buggy at all. It is the incomplete skeleton of one. Jed's inspection produces some of the sequence's most sustained and gentle comedy. He searches for a logical place to attach reins in the manner he understands. He notes the rubber tires with polite interest. He considers the absence of any surface that might accommodate a sack of flour or a basket of eggs. There ain't no place to sit down in here. The line is pure Buddy Ebsen, unhurried, genuinely puzzled, and completely free of scorn. The sulky is not rejected. It is simply found to be a mystery whose purpose has not yet been revealed. When he suggests that the only sensible use for such a rig would be to let the horse ride in it, the suggestion is offered as practical problem-solving rather than as a joke. In the Clampett world, tools are judged by the work they can perform. A tool that appears to perform no recognizable work remains for the moment an enigma. Granny's disappointment is more pointed. She has dreamed of a shiny buggy with yellow wheels and a red fringe, a vehicle suitable for dignified progress through the streets of Beverly Hills and for the practical business of bringing home the market purchases. What has been provided is a racing device so stripped of ordinary comfort that even the placement of one's feet becomes a problem. Where is the rest of you supposed to ride? Can't even go to the market in that thing. No place to carry your groceries. The critique is delivered with the authority of a woman who has spent a lifetime assessing the fitness of equipment for daily use. The fact that the sulky was never intended for market runs or family outings is a piece of specialized knowledge that no one has yet thought to supply. The family's immediate response is characteristically constructive. If the buggy lacks a place for feet and groceries, then a box can be built. Jethro and Jed begin to discuss the carpentry required with the same practical enthusiasm they once brought to the construction of the cement pond. The impulse is pure Clampett: the world is imperfect, therefore the world must be improved by the application of available skill and materials. That the improvement would destroy the sulky's racing function is a consideration that has not yet entered the conversation. In their minds, the vehicle has been delivered incomplete. Completing it is simply the next logical step. Only gradually does the true nature of the purchase begin to surface. Doc Pritchard's careful explanations that Lady Belle is a sulky horse, that the racing cart is the only vehicle she has been trained to pull, that the entire expensive apparatus exists for the single purpose of competitive harness racing, filter slowly through the family's alternative framework of understanding. The realization that the buggy has been deliberately stripped of every non-essential element in order to achieve maximum speed produces a second wave of comic reassessment. I'll bet you that's the reason he stripped this buggy down, so he'd get as light as he could. The observation is offered as sudden insight. The previous owner in this revised interpretation must have been a man so devoted to racing that he sacrificed every ordinary comfort for the sake of victory. The interpretation is almost correct in its facts and completely wrong in its emotional coloring. The Clampetts invest the specialized design with a kind of eccentric mountain dedication rather than with the cold technical requirements of a regulated sport. Granny's experimental drive in the sulky supplies the sequence's physical climax. She takes the reins with the same confidence she brought to the bareback excursion. Lady Belle responds exactly as her training dictates. She trots, she will not gallop. She will not break into any gait other than the precise high-stepping trot for which she has been bred and schooled. Granny's frustration mounts with every measured stride. I must have rode her 10 miles, used every trick I know, never could get her to go faster than a trot. The complaint is delivered with the indignation of a rider who has been denied the full range of a horse's capacity. That the horse is performing exactly as a champion trotter should perform is information that still sits just outside the family's frame of reference. The arrival of Mr. Drysdale and Miss Jane forces a rapid and comic adjustment of outward attitude. Jed's urgent private instruction, I want you to try extra hard not to act disappointed in front of them, produces one of the sequence's most delicate pieces of ensemble performance. Granny examines the sulky with newly manufactured enthusiasm. Fine, Mr. Drysdale, just fine. The praise is delivered through clenched teeth and with a visible effort of will. When she is invited to sit in the driver's seat and experience the thrill of the specialized rig, her questions about the absence of seating for the rest of the family and the lack of any platform for groceries threaten to collapse their performance entirely. Only Jed's desperate improvisation and invented batch of special coffee cake waiting in the kitchen rescues the moment. The banker and his secretary are steered indoors before the full extent of the family's bafflement can become undeniable. Left alone with the horse and the incomplete buggy, the Clampetts resume their practical deliberations. The racing purpose of the outfit is now partially understood, yet the understanding has not produced acceptance. Granny's final assessment remains rooted in mountain standards of sense. A vehicle that cannot carry groceries, cannot accommodate a family, and cannot persuade its horse to break into a gallop is a vehicle of limited usefulness. The fact that it represents the pinnacle of harness racing technology is for the present a secondary consideration. The series allows this judgment to stand without correction. The audience is invited to laugh at the mismatch while simultaneously recognizing the internal consistency of the family's values. They have been given a champion. They are trying with complete sincerity to understand what a champion is for. In the larger architecture of the narrative, the misunderstandings of racehorse and rig serve as the necessary bridge between the dream of the high-stepping trotter and the public spectacle that will follow at Hollywood Park. The bareback ride has established Granny's continued physical competence and her refusal to be intimidated by the animal's specialized status. The examination of the sulky has established the comic gap between professional racing design and mountain utility. The forced enthusiasm in front of Drysdale has established the family's willingness to protect the banker's feelings even while privately concluding that they have been sold an incomplete and peculiar vehicle. All of these elements will reach their climax when the same horse and the same driver appear on the track in front of the assembled society of Beverly Hills. The sequence's enduring charm lies in its refusal to resolve the misunderstanding too quickly or too completely. Lady Belle remains for the Clamparts, a beautiful horse who happens to prefer trotting and who has been provided with a strangely abbreviated cart. The $30,000 remains a number that has not yet been fully translated into the family's ordinary language of value. The sulky remains an object that might still be improved with a wooden box and a few sensible modifications. In the golden afternoon light of the mansion grounds, the champion trotter and her mountain owners continue to regard one another across a gap of specialized knowledge that only the Beverly Hillbillies could convert into such sustained and Beverly's affectionate comedy. The race, when it comes, will not resolve the gap, it will simply place it on the largest possible stage. Hollywood Park on a bright California afternoon presents itself as the perfect stage for the final public collision between mountain certainty and the specialized rituals of modern sport. The grandstand, the carefully manicured track, the muted elegance of the turf club, and the low continuous murmur of people who understand bloodlines and post positions form a world as complete and self-regarding as any the Clamparts have yet entered. Into this world, the family arrives with the same unself-conscious readiness they once brought to the Commerce Bank building and the Richards Plaza. They have been given a box immediately behind the Drysdales. They have been told that Lady Belle will compete. Granny has already declared her intention to drive. The elements of comedy are assembled with the classical precision that the series had spent 4 seasons refining. Mrs. Drysdale's reaction to their presence is instantaneous and absolute. What are those people doing here? The question is directed at her husband with the cold fury of a woman who has spent years attempting to maintain a firewall between her social existence and the family's proximity. Raymond Bailey's Milburn, already calculating the potential winnings that a successful Lady Belle might deliver to the Commerce Bank, offers the only defense available to him. The Clamparts happen to own one of the finest trotters in the country. The explanation does nothing to soften his wife's horror. In the carefully stratified world of Society Day, the appearance of the Clamparts in a neighboring box is not a colorful novelty. It is a breach of the invisible order that makes the entire occasion possible. Granny's preparation for the race proceeds with the same practical intensity she once brought to the compounding of cold cure. She has examined the sulky and found it wanting by every mountain standard, yet she has also accepted that the vehicle is the one Lady Belle has been trained to pull. She takes the reins with the absolute confidence of a woman who has been managing animals since childhood. The professional handler's residual anxiety is visible and well-founded. The driver is an elderly mountain woman with no experience of regulated harness racing. The horse is a $30,000 champion whose entire education has been directed toward the precise demands of the track. The combination has never been tested under racing conditions. Irene Ryan allows Granny to ignore every sign of official concern. A race has been announced. A horse has been provided. She will drive. The start itself is delayed by the small chaos that has attended every Clampart venture into specialized public space. There is trouble getting Lady Belle aligned with the other entrants. The family's explanation, offered from the box with complete sincerity, is that the horse was simply not yet ready to begin. When the field finally steps away, Granny's voice rises above the track noise in a series of urgent and increasingly inventive encouragements. Now, none of this crack of foolishness, Lady Belle. They got a head start on us. If we're gonna catch him, you gotta run like Ely Lerner. The name, almost certainly a mountain mishearing of some celebrated runner, is shouted with the full force of competitive faith. Come on now, get up. Pastor, do I have to come up there and show you how to run? Lady Belle's response is exactly the response her training requires. She trots. She maintains the high-stepping, disciplined gait that has made her a winner at Hollywood Park and at tracks across the country. She does not gallop. She does not break into the headlong run that Granny's commands are demanding. The gap between the driver's expectations and the horse's performance widens with every measured stride. From the grandstand, the spectacle is already comic. From the Clampart box, it is a test of loyalty and interpretive skill. Jed, Ellie Mae and Jethro lean forward with the intense concentration of people who have never learned to watch a member of their family fail without attempting to help. The moment when Granny and Lady Belle appear to catch the field produces a sudden surge of family triumph. She caught him, she caught him. The cry is taken up in the box with the full volume of mountain celebration. For a few luminous seconds it seems possible that the specialized world of harness racing is about to be rewritten by pure force of will. Then the reality of the situation asserts itself. The direction is wrong. The rules have been violated. The steward's decision is swift and irreversible. Granny has been disqualified. The announcement lands in the Clampett box with the force of a personal affront. And how come they didn't give me the money nor put the flowers on me nor nothing? Granny's question is asked with genuine bewilderment. She has driven. She has urged the horse forward with every resource of voice and will. She has by her own measurement finished ahead of the field. The rituals of purse and floral blanket are therefore owed. That the victory has been negated by a technical violation of racing procedure is a distinction that her moral universe is not prepared to accept without protest. Irene Ryan plays the moment with the same fierce dignity she once brought to the defense of her unlicensed medical practice. The rules of Hollywood Park have collided with the older rules of effort and result, and the older rules have been declared insufficient. Jed's response is the quiet masterpiece of the sequence. He does not explain the intricacies of racing regulation. He does not suggest that Granny's performance was in any way inadequate. He simply gathers the available truth into a single unbreakable statement of family loyalty. Now Granny, you done fine. You won fair and square. The words are spoken with the absolute conviction that Buddy Ebsen made the moral center of the series. In the only court that matters to the Clampetts, the race has been won. The official decision is noted and then set aside. Ellie Mae and Jethro add their own layers of affirmation. Even Lady Belle is included in the circle of praise. The disqualification stands as a fact of the specialized world. Inside the family's world, it is simply another of the inexplicable judgments that the modern environment is forever handing down. The deeper comedy of the sequence resides in the perfect symmetry of its misunderstandings. Granny has treated a championship harness race as an ordinary contest of speed and determination. The racing authorities have treated an ordinary contest of speed and determination as a championship harness race. Neither side is capable of translating the other's assumptions into its own language. The result is a public spectacle that the society audience experiences as farce and that the Clampetts experience as a hard-fought and unjustly denied victory. The series with its characteristic generosity allows both experiences to stand. The laughter is directed at the collision, never at the dignity of the people involved. Mrs. Drysdale's horror, Mr. Drysdale's rapid recalculation of lost racing income, and the family's unbroken pride form a final tableau that contains the entire thematic argument of the composite narrative. The specialized institutions of Beverly Hills, its banks, its medical offices, its hotels, its racetracks have once again encountered a force they cannot price, cannot regulate, and cannot quite dismiss. Granny has taken the reins of a $30,000 champion and driven her according to the only rules she has ever recognized. The official result is disqualification. The human result is a family that leaves the track more tightly bound to one another and to their horse than when they arrived. As the grandstand empties and the Clampetts prepare to return Lady Belle to the boarding stables, the larger arc of the composite script approaches its close. The cold cure has been revealed as common sense. The richest woman in the world has been refused. The automobile has been rejected. The high-stepping trotter has been claimed, ridden, raced, and defended. Through every collision the family has remained intact, their values uncompromised, their affection for one another undiminished. Hollywood Park has supplied the largest and most public stage yet for the demonstration of those values. The disqualification will not be recorded in any racing chart as a victory. In the only history that matters to the Clampetts, it has already been entered as one. The composite narrative that began in Granny's improvised examination room and concluded on the disqualified stretch of Hollywood Park forms one of the purest expressions of the Beverly Hillbillies' enduring comic and moral vision. Across the linked episodes that comprise this sequence, the Cold Cure campaign, the arrival of the richest woman in the world, the rejection of the automobile, and the extravagant misadventures of Lady Belle, the series returns again and again to the same essential confrontation. On one side stands the specialized, credentialed, market-driven world of 1960s Beverly Hills. On the other stands a family whose values were formed in the mountains and whose loyalty to those values remains absolute. The comedy arises from the endless inventive collisions between the two. The lasting charm arises from the series' refusal to allow either side a permanent or ungenerous victory. Culture clash is the engine of the entire run, yet it is never culture war. The writers and performers of the Beverly Hillbillies understood that the humor of incongruity deepens rather than diminishes when both parties to the incongruity are granted their full humanity. Dr. Roy Clyburn is not a villain for insisting on licenses and appointments. He is a professional attempting to preserve the standards of his craft. Tracy Richards is not a monster for believing that every desire can be purchased. She is the logical product of a life in which money has always dissolved resistance. Mr. Drysdale is not a caricature of greed. He is a man whose genuine affection for the Clamperts is permanently entangled with his terror of losing their deposits. Even the specialized world of harness racing is allowed its dignity. Lady Bell's training, the fragile precision of the sulky, and the steward's disqualification are presented as the coherent rules of a coherent game. The comedy lies in the Clamperts' sincere inability to inhabit those rules, not in any suggestion that the rules themselves are foolish. What the Clamperts bring to every encounter is a moral code so simple it appears almost radical in the context of mid-century American television. Suffering is to be relieved. Hospitality is to be offered. Family is to be defended. Objects are to be judged by their usefulness rather than their price. A man's word once given is not a negotiating position. These principles are never articulated as a philosophy, they are simply lived day after day. In the vast rooms of the mansion and in the public spaces of Beverly Hills, when Granny compounds her cold cure, she is not performing folklore for the cameras, she is practicing the only medicine she has ever trusted. When Jed refuses Tracy Richards's blank check, he is not striking a blow against capitalism. He is declining to sell a home that has grown to contain the daily life of his family. When Granny takes the reins at Hollywood Park, she is not mocking the sport of kings. She is driving a horse to the best of her ability according to the only standards of effort and result she recognizes. The performances that carry these principles into visible life remain among the most durable achievements of American situation comedy. Buddy Ebsen's Jed Clampett is a masterclass in understatement. In an era that often equated patriarchal authority with volume and decisive action, Ebsen created a father and father figure whose power resided in attention, patience, and the quiet refusal to abandon his own measure of what mattered. His deadpan reactions to the blank check, to the incomplete sulky, to the official disqualification function as the series' moral tuning fork, the audience learns to trust what Jed notices and what he chooses to ignore. Irene Ryan's Granny is the complementary force, kinetic, absolute, and permanently unwilling to surrender the authority of experience. Her medical campaigns, her automotive disasters, and her bareback insistence on riding a champion trotter are all expressions of a single unbroken will. The comedy of her performance never undercuts the dignity of her certainty. Max Baer Jr.'s Jethro supplies the necessary expansiveness, physical, appetitive, and romantically deluded, while Donna Douglas's Ellie Mae anchors the family in a gentleness that extends without effort to every living creature that crosses the mansion grounds. Together, the four create a household whose internal loyalty is so complete that the outside world, however powerful, can only temporarily disrupt it. The historical moment in which these episodes appeared sharpens their resonance. The mid-1960s were years of rapid institutional expansion and rising professional specialization. Medicine, finance, real estate, and sport were all consolidating their authority behind credentials, regulations, and market mechanisms that ordinary citizens were increasingly expected to accept without question. The Beverly Hillbillies offered a weekly reminder that other forms of knowledge and other measures of value continued to exist. The reminder was never delivered with bitterness. The series did not call for the dismantling of modern institutions. It simply insisted that those institutions remained answerable to older human standards of care, fairness, and sense. When the common cold proved beyond the reach of laboratory science, Granny's 45-year-old remedy, rest fluids, and sensible eating stood as a quiet corrective. When unlimited wealth proved incapable of purchasing the Clampett mansion, Jed's refusal stood as a quiet insistence that some attachments are not commodities. When the specialized rules of harness racing disqualified, a driver who had by her own lights won the family's unbroken pride stood as a quiet affirmation that official results are not the only results that matter. The laughter the series generates is therefore never the laughter of superiority. The audience is not invited to look down on the Clampetts from the secure height of urban sophistication. Nor is it invited to look down on the bankers, doctors, and socialites from the secure height of rural virtue. The invitation is simply to watch two complete and coherent worlds attempt to occupy the same space and to delight in the inventive, affectionate, and endlessly renewable comedy that results. The Cold Cure arc, the Tracy Richards arc, and the Lady Bell arc are not separate stories. They are variations on a single theme, the persistence of a moral center that refuses to be priced, regulated, or disqualified out of existence. That persistence is the source of the series' lasting charm. Situation comedies of the 1960s produced many memorable characters and many durable jokes. Few produced a vision of family loyalty as consistent and as unsentimental as the one embodied by the Clampetts. The family argues, exasperates one another, and occasionally pursues mutually contradictory schemes. They never seriously consider abandoning one another. When Granny invades Dr. Clyburn's office, the others go with her. When she declares war on the automobile, they help extract the truck from the tree. When she takes the reins at Hollywood Park, they defend the result against the entire apparatus of official judgment. The loyalty is not loud. It is simply there, as reliable as the oil that continues to flow from the land they left behind. In the end, the composite narrative leaves the audience where the best of the series always left them, smiling slightly more tender toward human stubbornness and newly reminded that the most sophisticated systems of the modern world remain incomplete without the older forms of wisdom they so often dismiss. One spoonful of Cold Cure, a refused blank check, a high-stepping trotter driven according to mountain rules. These are not solutions to the large problems of the age. They are something more modest and more durable, evidence that a certain kind of heart can survive transplantation into the most alien of environments and continue to beat according to its original rhythm. The Beverly Hillbillies at its best never claimed more than that. It never needed to. The laughter it generated was always mixed with recognition, and the recognition has proved as lasting as the oil fortune that made the entire improbable adventure possible. The Clampetts remain in the mansion. Lady Bell returns to the stables. Dr. Clyburn resumes his practice. Tracy Richards seeks other acquisitions. Mr. Drysdale continues his endless affectionate calculation of deposits and risks. The mountains are still there somewhere behind the California light. And the heart that traveled from those mountains continues week after week, and decade after decade, to find new ways of making the complicated modern world look briefly and wonderfully simple.